Yeah, buddy. Check down.
Oh, we gotta kick that theme music, baby. We gotta kick that theme music. It's okay. Sometimes you gotta force quit iTunes with 30 seconds left until the show starts. But I still want you to bang that music for me, son. Yeah, boy. Let's get in here. I'm about to send some tweets. We're about to get started. It's 3 hours. It's Rick Rose. This is Checkdown right here. South rules, Aguilar, Zay Jones, man. You just kick back on this theme song. I'm gonna get you all the research you need. All right. All right. I'm gonna let this play out, boys. It's 3 hours. I'm gonna let this ride. Oh, yeah, son. Did your favorite fantasy analyst burn the turkey? Did you get roasted by your go-to fantasy advice expert? Say no more, fam. This is the Checkdown. This is Rick Rosen, Heavy.com's fantasy football advice show, here in this chair for 3 hours, giving you all the advice and updates you need for Week 12 kickoff. It's the Dirty Dozen week. Playoffs are coming. I have one more thing. Rule of threes. Oh, how about this? Who wants to be a millionaire, Tony Fedora? We got the 75th millionaire maker on DraftKings today. $75 can win you $1 million. I am Quarter Chub, just thinking about that. It's a family show, and your boy is out here with the picks and the shit and the All right, let's get some questions. Let's catch up. Not a sport. Tanner Demerit. All right, South rules. You hit me with the first question. Tony, I got you, baby. Let's make you a millionaire. We are so out here today, boys. I got a lot of nuggets. I got a lot of good questions. I got a lot of people that want to get at me with their questions. And we're going to answer them, starting with South rules. Aguilar or Zay Jones, man. So, Aguilar, he's obviously the big play guy, and they're going to want him on that burn route. I actually think the Bears defense is way better than a lot of people say. They haven't given up a lot of top 12 quarterback fantasy performances. And Aguilar, in his own right, is a dart play. However, I think when you look at Zay Jones, yeah, dude, you buy 3 whiteboards if I cop them. You look at Zay Jones, look at a guy that had a horrible start to the season, but really started to come on in the last couple of weeks while battling injury. Now you have a situation where Tyrod Taylor is back in against a plus defense in Kansas City in a positive passing game script, right, against a top Chiefs defense. I think this is a good spot for Zay Jones. I think this is a potential smash spot. It's obviously up to you. I definitely think Aguilar is a higher upside play, South rules, but I do agree that Zay Jones is going to get his looks, and with Tyrod Taylor back, it's a definite. I'd say it's Zay Jones' best opportunity of the year to put up nice numbers. I think it's his number one chance of the year, and I got no problem with it with Zay Jones over Aguilar. I know it's tough. All right, Clement or Gore, Dylan, thank you so much for popping in. So this is a matter of volume. Corey Clement, we just can't trust where he's going to finish in terms of PPR touches. When he did his work against Dallas last week, they already had that game on ice, so it's not even really a fair assessment, his 1 to 2 game sample size, because you had the Ajayi transition game, and then you have a blowout in the span of a couple of blowouts. So in terms of volume and touches, I'd much rather have a guy like Gore against the Titans, where we know running backs can be successful, and Gore's going to get his 12 to 15 touches. What's going on, Alfredo? I'll catch you in a second. And so I think Corey Clement is just kind of this guy that I want on my roster, but is a little bit of a dart throw still at this point. We're not 100% locked into his value. We're locked into Frank Gore's value. That's Hall of Fame basement fantasy scorer, baby. That's number one. I'll bank those 12 points to the death. That dude moonwalks into the Hall of Fame. All right, let's catch up here. Hey, brother, this is the week where blood will shed. This is the week where blood will shed. This is the week where blood will shed. What's going on? Dylon, tell 2 friends. Tell 2 friends. We could do this every weekend. All right. So we're going to talk about the Millie Maker today. We're going to talk about those Thanksgiving games and what we can evaluate from them. Obviously, the Cowboys are toast. We'll do a full market watch in the second hour. We have a very exciting power rankings that's very close to my heart. We talk about some DFS quarterbacks because that's the centerpiece of your millionaire lineup. I want to break down the best quarterbacks that I think we can get at today, and not name Tom Brady, plus matchup against the Dolphins. We're going to look at all the matchups. We're going to rank them. It's a beautiful, beautiful show hosted by yours truly. It's going to be real special. It's going to be real classy. It's going to be a personal affair. And I'm going to be here through all the way through. Oh, we got some blood. Timmy Ta. Sci-Hi on his new mixtape said his dudes are so gangster. His dudes are so gangster. All they eat is seafood. That's hard bars. Hard bars. What's going on, Richard? Thanks for popping in. He's got a flex, and he was going to put Devontae Freeman in there. Now he cannot put Devontae Freeman in there. Oh, Alfredo, Uribe, I missed you. Give me 1 second. I'll tack back around, and then Dylan, I got you. All right, Rich, you lost Freeman, and Greg Olsen is only going to play half snaps, probably. I have Jenkins, ASJ, D-Will, and Rex Burkhead. Help me out. Well, here in the checkdown, Rich, we have an automatic lean towards Rex Burkhead because if he doesn't score 6 touchdowns this year, I'm going to eat a picture of his face live on the show. He's got to score 6. He's got 1. I really thought he was going to get in last week. It was a really good spot for him. He had a fumble and a drop pass, but he still got back in the workload and finished second in touches among running backs. However, I don't know if he's the start that I can play here. I mean, obviously, honestly, from Olsen, ASJ, D. Williams, and Burkhead, I still like Olsen. I don't like ASJ. Damian Williams is in a true committee against a Patriots defense that is stiffening rapidly as we head into the colder months of the season. And then we have Burkhead. So if it's PPR is important there, Mr. Pinkston, because I think if it's PPR, Damian Williams and Burkhead get some upside, especially Burkhead. But if I absolutely need to get one, if I need to get that dub, I like Olsen regardless of the workload over the 3 of them. Greg Olsen is a workhorse. Like, you could try to keep him in for 50% of snaps, but that dude's a monster, and that dude's going to play as much as he can. So I have no problem throwing him into my lineup the first week he's healthy because he's a man on that field. All right. Clement or Curse back up for Alfredo, then we'll work our way back down. Clement or Curse. We talked about Corey Clement. Limited workload makes it tough to judge him because of volume and recent performances in Philly with blowouts. And now we're getting towards Jermaine Curse, which is the second big play receiver of Robbie Anderson and Curse. I do think that so Carolina plays more press coverage than any other team in the league. That could be problematic for the Jets if they don't have enough time to throw, or it could be super helpful because Curse and Robbie can get over the top of the defense. Robbie Anderson and Jermaine Curse get over the top of the defense if they have enough time in the pocket. So, wow, Deion Lewis, Gronk, and Brady, Rich, wow, dang. I mean, that's a #1 offense, man. Deion Lewis is a good pickup. Sorry, let's tack back to Uribe. Okay, so I do think that Corey Clement is probably a better pick than Curse, if only because in PPR, it's a basement play. He's going to get a couple touches. He's there to catch passes out of the backfield. And what's really crazy is he's been a solid red zone target. I just don't trust Curse as much as I could Corey Clement for a team that's been blowing out other teams and getting their backups involved. It's a decent matchup, especially when you talk about the Bears losing Leonard Floyd, their #1 D end, a decent run stuffer in addition to pass rush. Let's keep things moving, Tanner. Tough spot currently with Mixon as RB2 and Collins flexed. Don't rally feel good about either of them. Would you consider sneaking Burkhead in either of them PPR? So I want Mixon to have a good game. I think Mixon's going to have a good game. And knowing Mixon and knowing what we've been through this year on Mixon, I still wouldn't take him out for Burkhead. It's just you're trading in a dart throw for a dart throw. So not that Mixon's a dart throw, but you know what I mean? Like, you're not trading in a sure thing. I do like Collins in a good spot to burn the clock in the second half because the Ravens defense is going to shut them down and be in control. So I think we'll be okay there. And I just think you're better off not touching it. You know how we get with these Sunday switchies. Sunday switchies. All right, Rob, top 3 wide receiver quarterback stacks today. So if you haven't noticed, today we're going for $1 million on DraftKings. $75 to win $1 million. It only happens so often, and that's a life-changing amount of scratch, you dig? So who are the quarterback wide receiver stacks today? I'm not a big quarterback wide receiver stack always. I like quarterback running back too, but if I had to stack, so I really like Russell Wilson and Jimmy Graham today against San Fran. San Fran's been horrible against tight ends the last couple weeks. Russell Wilson has been en fuego the last 8 weeks and scrambling. The Niners are the worst team in the league against scrambling quarterbacks. He could have a monster day. I also like Drew Brees against Alvin Kamara. I think that's going to be a positive game script for us, not necessarily for the Saints. Whereas if the Rams at home get up and the Saints need to come back, the way they did it against Washington was by dumping a ball off to Kamara and letting him make plays over and over and over again. So I think that could lead to an explosive day for the two of them. Plus, Kamara and Ingram have been like either 1 or number 2 for like 6 straight weeks. So you got to get one of them in your lineup. And a third quarterback wide receiver stack. There's a couple. Why don't we go with Brandon Cooks? Since Chris Hogan has been out, Brandon Cooks has had his 2 highest target totals of the year. Last week, he had a monster long tote down. Tom Brady has been heat hot. They're playing the Dolphins and a absolute garbazio pass defense. True basura. That matchup is not blowout proof. I would be worried about a slow second half there. But as far as explosiveness, and let me get 2 tutties, Gronk's numbers have been down, and since Chris Hogan's been out, Cook's numbers have been up. A little bit unreliable earlier in the season, but he's coming into fire form. So we're looking at those QB stacks for our DFS. Remember, guys, $1 million today. DraftKings Millie Maker. If you're not excited, you hate this game. Oh, Lord, we just got to crush this. Cameron, I'm going to get to your 4-team league in a question. I got to get in a second, your question in a second. Your second in a question in a second. Hey, I'm going to get to Dylan's question. Do I play Amendola or Wallace? I have Brady and Cooks, my number 3 DFS stack. All right, Amendola has also seen increased work since Chris Hogan's been out, more so than Mike Wallace, who caught a incredible touchdown on Sunday against the Packers, but was otherwise useless. He's had some very solid games, actually some top 10 finishes, Mike Wallace, but I'd much rather have Amendola in a smash spot against a bad Dolphins defense that was carved up the last couple of weeks. Fitzpatrick did work against them. I like all those Patriots today. Just make it happen. Cowboys cut Darren McFadden. That's crazy, though. Wentz or Russell Wilson, son. Good problem to have. Clayton, I think that you should go with Russell Wilson there. Wentz has been matchup proof so far in this season, but I think the Bears defense is sneaky better than people think, and Russell Wilson is that offense. There's not a lot of playmakers. They don't have a solid run game. Russell Wilson is that offense. He needs to have the ball for them to move. Keep it moving. First 15 gone here on the Checkdown. It's your boy. 3 hours out here. Let's take a look at this schedule so I can tell you what you're working with. Hey, so we're going to talk about these 3 Thanksgiving games because, I watched 2.5 of them, and that's pretty good for a fantasy expert. Then we're going to rank these games. I got them into tiers. There's a lot of low-quality games today. I think this week is a very matchup-dependent week, right? Then we're going to do our power rankings. This week's power rankings is fighting game, all-time character power rankings. Guess who's number 1? You won't get it right. I got some real gems on there. I know you're going to love it. Fighting game character power rankings. Y'all don't know where I'm going with this one. So that'll be at 11:30 like we always do. Then I'm going to show you some 4 tiers of quarterback picks for DFS today that I like. Some pricey picks and then some cheapo weepos. Then we're going to do Market Watch. We're going to talk about the stock rising and falling of some of the teams in the NFL that people have a hard time reading sometimes. I'm looking at you, Dallas. You done. And then we're going to do our live draft on draft. We've been struggling, y'all, with our live draft on draft in the last hour. A couple of losing weeks after a really hot start. I was feeling myself. Now I'm not feeling myself. I'm not feeling myself. So we might do the live draft, or we might just make a millie and fire up the DraftKings and make ourselves a millionaire maker lineup. I'm not yet signed up, but I am ready to cash. I have some research. I have some picks that I like. I have a mini lineup pick that I am pretty solid with, but I don't like. I think it's a little imbalanced. I made a mini lineup yesterday that had Alvin Kamara and LaShawn McCoy. I loved it. And then what happened was I started being like, oh, I literally can't have any wide receivers. So I like it, but I'm not crazy about it. And I want to make another one for the Millionaire Maker using all the knowledge that we're going to burn through in the next 3 hours. We're going to fill ourselves up with knowledge, and then we're just going to spew it out onto our DraftKings lineup, and hopefully it makes us some nice retirement funds. It's your boy! We are so out here. That's the Checkdown schedule. What's going on, Tim? We got a double Tim here. Oh, Shang Tsung and Kirby did not make it on the list, Tim, but we are doing top 5 fighting game characters for our power rankings today. Let's catch up on the chat, dog. Dylan's helping people in the chat because I'm too busy breaking down the show. I love it. 4-team league for Cameron Burley. First of all, I love that. Is there any more trash talking than in a 4-team league? Your lineup decisions every week are so hard, and everyone's got a stacked roster. Free agency's a mess. I love that idea. 4-team league. He's got Hunt, McCoy, Gurley, and Ingram. Who should I have at the 2 running back spots in the flex? I love this question so much. I don't know how you can't start all 4 of these guys, Cam. Like, this is insane. I do think Kareem Hunt's in line for a big game. The Bills' defense has been trash. I do think Shady's in line for a big game, plus Tyrod. Like, it's crazy, but I do... Tim's going to roast me for this, but I would probably leave Gurley or Ingram based on volume of today's game and how I think it's going to play out script-wise. I think Ingram's probably going to see less carries as they dump to Kamara, and Gurley will be the focal point, but the Saints defense will be very much ready for it, and they've done a great job with backs out of the backfield. However, Chris Thompson had a decent game against them when Redskins Saints played. You have to have Hunt and McCoy in the lineup. Those are 2 like the best backs in football. And then the other 2 are like the other 2 best backs in football. What a horrendous dude. That is so rough. That is so bad. Okay, so Clayton Brown wants Wes or Russell Wilson. We did that one. I like Russ, number 1. Rob's going to correct me. Ben Brown, sure. Goff Watkins, never. Cam Funchess, never. I don't like those last 2. Ben Brown, I see it, but I think you're probably paying too much in a home game against a bad team. That's not going to be a competitive game. That's probably going to be a blowout. But I do think with no Juju, that is a good stack. Ben Brown is like a good stack. I would stack all... give me Ben, Bell, Brown, and Steelers D tonight. I'll take $1 million on that. That would be agonizing to have to wait all night on $1 million for my Steelers. Oh, good Lord. They're playing Sunday night home against the Packers. That's a great smash spot. Okay, Ben. Sorry, Ben. Come on, I got you. You got to get treated like everybody else, boss. I have Jared Goff on my practice squad. I may call him up next year. How good will he be? So Jared Goff has actually not had that great of a season mechanically. His play calling has been through the roof compared to what it was last year. Dumping the ball off to Gurley, getting all the weapons involved, better weapons, might I add, a better offensive line, but he hasn't like made any like insane throws, or like Wentz is making throws. I'm like, dag, this guy is here. He is arriving. Jared Goff has not exactly done that yet. Twofold here. I do think he'll continue to improve because his arm strength is apparent. My bigger concern is the old theory that I have of, okay, Sean McVay's system is really good through 15 games. Now we have 15 games of game tape. All we have to do is stop you once. We're going to put that blueprint out, and everything you do is going to change. So on that note, I'm not 100% positive about Jared Goff being like an MVP candidate next year, but I do think he's good enough. Like, Ben, you're starting Derek Carr or Bortles. That's the question you came in with last year, so obviously you should be elevating Jared Goff if you have to. Cowboys cut Darren McFadden. Tanner, I get what you're saying, but if he wasn't good enough to pass Amo and Rod Smith, what is he going to do on the Giants? He's obviously not better than Darkwa. The Cowboys would kill for Darkwa right now. Rooney, playoffs on the line, need a running back. What's going on, boss? Isaiah Crowell, Doug Martin, Bilal Powell, or Devontae Booker. Let's table that question until we hear about Matt Forte. If Matt Forte's out, Powell gets a split with McGuire. I elevate his status. Until then, I'll take Martin in a positive matchup. Crowell's got a top 10 run DVOA against him today. And Booker, like, I like Booker, but I'm worried about his touches. Devontae Booker's been a hot name this week because honestly, he was supposed to beat out CJ Anderson in camp, so it's kind of crazy that he's not like really leading that team right now, but he just hasn't been able to get going. But I will table that question, Rooney, Mr. Rooney, M. Rooney. It could be Mara Rooney backwards, like the girl from The Thing. But I do think that there's a best buy there if we hold on. Albert, what's up, bud? DeMarco Murray or J.D. McKissic? DeMarco Murray's a stud. So ideally, you want to get Murray in there every week. He obviously had a bad matchup last week. They're playing against like a top 5 run defense, but the Colts are not a top 5 run defense. J.D. McKissic, however, is a starter in Seattle, and he should be in your lineup this week. He ran 42 pass routes against the Falcons last week. That's a lot for a running back, and if you're in PPR, that's muy bueno. So I would try to get him into a lineup. He's a great DraftKings value today. I really like him. I think he's going to get a ton of work. Driscoll, I'm going to get to you in a second. Rooney, I just think with those 4, we need to wait a little bit and see what the injury reports say. Doug Martin's a guy that is getting his 20 carries. So you'd think from a fantasy running back perspective, if a guy is copping 20 carries, that's the guy that I want in my lineup every week. Lock it in. But Doug Martin's only pulling like 2 yards a carry on this, and we can't have that. And there's nobody else in that lineup, and the backfield's really struggling. They're just running to keep the defense honest so Fitzpatrick can keep working. And it's just, I'm not a fan of the muscle hamster right now. He had a nice game against New England, his first game back, and has been nothing but a disappointment in the 2 months since then. I was in the city during that game. I was still working. That's how long ago that was. Top 5 fighting game characters at 11:30. Don't forget. You can guess, but you're not going to get it. No Juju. Juju's out, Driscoll. Okay. Breda versus Seattle or Cohen versus Philly. I would try to get McKissic right now if those are your 2 options. But if those are your absolute only 2 options, I got to go with Cohen. His touch count has been all over the place, but he did get 15 last week, which was his most in like a month and a half. He could also get 3 touches today, but he's much better than Matt Breda. Those are 2 of the best run defenses in the league. So you started with a negative matchup before you even selected your lineup. I know, 4-team league, right? Like, that's crazy. I love it. I love it, Cameron, hang out with us. Be our friend. Do I play Devontae Adams over Funchess Amendola PPR? I wouldn't, Dylan. I wouldn't. Devontae Adams has been the biggest producer in the Brett Hundley era through the past 5 weeks, but I think that the way Funchess comes on, we don't have to go by what Greg Olsen coming back does to the Panthers, because Funchess was getting touches stolen from Benjamin, not he was getting touches taken by Benjamin, not Olsen. So Benjamin's gone. Funchess is still going to get his 8 targets. Amendola the same way. Hogan's out. Amendola is still going to get his targets, going to be a PPR producer unless he gets hurt. I don't think Devontae Adams has that much upside, except for the fact that he's the only person producing in the Packers offense. But, the Packers offense can't keep getting shut out and making productive fantasy players. You can't have both, Brett Hundley, okay? You know what it tells you about Brett Hundley? Everything that you ever need to know about Brett Hundley as a NFL quarterback. Listen to this sentence I'm about to utter into your face. On 4th down against the Ravens, Brett Hundley got sacked 3 times. You can't take 3 sacks on 4th down. What are you thinking? What kind of sport are you playing? What goes through your head when you're like making your final turn, or you're going to throw the ball out of bounds, or you're going to chuck the ball, but you just don't? It's 4th down, my guy. This is an NFL quarterback. If I'm NFL quarterback, I'm going to do one thing, and that is heave it on 4th down. Are you kidding me? I was stunned, shocked, and appalled. Okay, 1 time, really bad. 2 times, you don't know what you're doing. 3 times, get off the field. Aaron Rodgers comes back week 15. Hallelujah, holla back. All right, let's back it up. No Juju. Both Saints corners out today. Cam, 180. Okay, so Rob's watching NFL Network and feeding us stats. I love it. Oh, Juju being out hurt. Oh, that's why, because Juju's out. Well, I think you could find someone on free agents, Tim. Budo, should I bench McKinnon next week, especially if Hogan comes back? I mean, Hogan's going to be a producer in your lineup when he comes back. McKinnon has really bothered me the last couple weeks. I was huge on him on Thanksgiving. Totally burned me. Murray's playing really well, and they respect that. Not only that, McKinnon's losing yards when he gets the ball. It's really frustrating. Would I go McKissick over Alex Collins, Tanner? PPR, no. I think it's a big grind out spot for the Ravens, much like their last primetime game where it just wasn't competitive, and Collins was just able to be that primetime big stage back, like they showed the Irish dance clip and all that stuff. So that's a big move. I would just keep it the way you're going, but I do think in PPR McKissick definitely has great value today. Jeff Kenobi, you're my only one, Kenobi. Devontae Parker or Alshon Jeffrey? Alshon Jeffrey, you know what he's got today? Revenge game value. Alshon Jeffrey used to be a Bear, dog, and now he's an Eagle going to a Super Bowl, dog. Alshon Jeffrey's going to score today, dog. I don't care if Bears corners have done a great job against number one receivers. Alshon Jeffrey's going to be mad. He's going to be real mad. He's going to do good. So I would definitely take Alshon Jeffrey over Devontae Parker, who has, I think, 20 less targets than Kenny Stills when Matt Moore's last 5 starts, which is just so stupid that Matt Moore likes one guy over the other guy. It makes no sense, but it's what we have to deal with. And only one, Kenobi. I also think Kareem Hunt does break out this week. He's not getting enough touches. I think that's going to change this week. Smash spot, smash spot. Alex Collins or Amari Coop, only one, Kenobi. What's going on, Dropping Science? I got you. Give me 1 second. We're making our way down the list. We got fighting game character power rankings at 11:30. We're trying to win $1 million today. It's no big deal. Just hang out with us. Okay, Alex Collins or Amari Coop. We got to take Collins. We just don't know about Amari Coop. Also, Denver secondary makes you nervous. It's just not Amari Cooper's season. It sucks. You gotta cut it, man. Not cut him like drop him, but you gotta cut the comparison when you got a basement guy against Amari Cooper where I'm trying to bank some points because it's the end of the season and I'm trying to make this playoff spot instead of taking flyers on big production. That Cooper Thursday game was such a mind bleep when you really think about it. It really was. But now, nice, Kenobi. Nah, man, stick with your OG. Stick with your OG. When you think about it, the Raiders just haven't been very good in general. Derek Carr's been really bad. I think his back still really, really hurts. He's been a check down machine this season. You know who wouldn't get sacked 3 times on 4th down? Kaepernick. Exactly. It's too easy. It's too easy, Budo. It's too easy. 3 sacks on 4th down. I'm very confident in our quarterback squad. The problem is not the quarterback. Garbage. All right, Clay. Clemson is a ACC team that plays other shit ACC teams, thus has a great record every year. I mean, Clemson kind of has an NFL D-line, so, I mean, shit ACC team. I'm pretty sure they had Mike Williams and DeAndre Hopkins and Sammy Watkins. Deshaun Watson turned out pretty good. I mean, you're calling them a bleep team. I think your Seminole's showing. I think you want to zip that Seminole up, man. Dropping Science wants to get his flex spot on Devontae Booker, Corey Davis, or Jeremy Maclin. Okay, so I am selling Maclin today. No Jeremy Maclin for me. And then it becomes Corey Davis or Devontae Booker. No Rashard Matthews. I like Corey Davis, but it's really hard because Corey Davis has been really bad for a couple of weeks, and I've been starting him and getting burnt. That being said, Devontae Booker is a timeshare running back. If I want a number 1 wide receiver or a timeshare running back, I probably go with Corey Davis, especially against the Titans secondary, which just got roasted by Colts secondary. Sorry. Strike that. Reverse it. First hiccups, 10:32. I don't know how this happens every week, man. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I like Corey Davis. I acknowledge Booker could have a nice game, but it's up to those two. Not Maclin. That'll make you feel better. Budo wants to know Woodhead or McKinnon rest of the way. So PPR, Woodhead's going to be a nice little piece. I mean, if he's going to get more than 6 targets a game, he's probably worth picking up because that basement is so sexy. Such a high floor play if he's going to catch 6-7 balls every single week. I wish McKinnon were better, man. Obviously, the biggest problem with McKinnon is that Adam Thielen's always open. If that wasn't the case, I think McKinnon lost some of his some of his dump downs to Adam Thielen openness. And now we're in this place we are where Adam Thielen's an absolute stud muffin. All right, thoughts on Teron Ward, worth picking up. I do think that Tevin Coleman is the number one and like an RB1. But when it comes to Ward, he is getting nice gains and there's nobody else. If you have a roster spot, give me Ward for just a couple of weeks. There's just not enough. There's not enough running backs just sitting around that are getting touches for me to scoop one up and plug and play like that. Like, he had a decent game against Seattle. If there were any doubts about Tevin Coleman, I would want to play him this week, but I just think Tevin Coleman's probably getting 25 touches today between run and pass, just because he proved that he's a workhorse and Seattle was a negative matchup and he still did well. And he's the goal line back. So you're not a goal line back. You're just a change of pace back for a change of pace back. So it's kind of rough on Ward right now, but he is one slip away from being a starter in a high-powered offense. So just for these next couple weeks, if you have a roster spot, slide him in there. You want to be the guy where someone's like, did anyone pick up Ward? Ah, fuck, dropping science got him. And that's how we're having it. I hate 2017 NFL football. Oh, man, the Big Ten's better. Oh, man. Tim, Big Ten cameramen hit harder than NFL linebackers. You see that? JT Barrett got sidelined because a cameraman with an M hat took him out. Why? My name's JT Barrett. And they still won by 2 touchdowns. That's what's crazy. Is you took out JT Barrett and you still got worked. That Higdon, though. Higdon, Michigan's running back. He can tote. He can tote that rock. That's a factoid. I believe. They both got good running backs. That's pretty important in that conference. But unimpressed either way. Auburn. Now that's a football team, Tim. Them Auburn Tigers, they can play, all right? You heard it here first. We are rocking and rolling. Week 12, Dirty Dozen. Do you want to win $1 million? Do you want a life-changing amount of money today? Open up DraftKings, make a deposit, promo code Checkdown. We are going for it. We are really, really out here this week, people. Josh Gordon's getting activated, but he's not going to play today. He's coming, baby. Saban didn't deserve that. Hey, Saban, 150 games coached. Do you know how many games he's lost? It's not that many. He lost his X game yesterday out of 150. Pretty impressive considering you only play like 12, 13, 14 every year. Absolutely nanners. But we can go through these tiers. Let me go through these tiers matchups that were actually out here right now. And I'm getting some retweets, boy. Whatever retweeted to that boy. It is hour 1. We are here till 1. We are going to win 1 million. And that is how the checkdown works. Let's go to our tier matchups today. Oh, let's hide them. Spoilers. Whoa. Guys. Bad production. Would I pick up Gordon? Now drop in. If I have a roster spot, I might throw a flyer on him. My biggest issue is that he wears a Cleveland Browns uniform. Corey Coleman's the number 1 and instantly came back and dominated targets. Do I think Josh Gordon was special? Yes. I have no idea what he still is and what he can be. And so when it comes to free agent roster ads, if you have a roster spot, sure. But like if you go to the fantasy football subreddit, those dudes are rock hard for Josh Gordon. He is still a Cleveland Brown. Everyone likes the idea of the league-winning player just sitting there on free agency for us to be able to grab, but it's much easier said than done, and I want him, but I'm not going to go out of my way, start him. He is, at the end of the day, a Cleveland Brown. I don't have a ton of tier 1 matchups today. I just have one. Saints at Rams, and it's only because the Saints are missing 2 corners, or else this would be a Saints victory big time. But even with Robert Woods out, the Rams have a ton of speed on the outside to make things difficult. Look for Farrah Cooper and Josh Reynolds. Reynolds is the Texas A&M standout to get back in the work with Robert Woods out, Bobby Dubs. I like Cooper Kupp today in my DFS. I also like Breeze Camara. We talked about that. You can't go wrong with a Saints running back. Michael Thomas has been pretty studly, but I wouldn't pay for that price. But start everyone in this game except for the defenses is going to be a fun one. Tier 2, open it up a little bit on some decent matchups. I just take a Trump, but just sat there Putin. Clay, that's fantastic. I love you, Clayton Brown. Okay, so tier 2 matchups. We got the Tyrod Taylor angry game against the Kansas City Chiefs free fall game. We're going to talk about a game that 2 teams both say they need. This is the one you circle. And so I think we could be up for big points in that one. It could be a really fun game. The way both quarterbacks move. Could be a lot of excitement at both ends. And I really want to watch it. That's what I might put on its own screen today. It might get the old scloozy clues. The exclusive. Bucks Falcons. The Bucks defense is... So it was a tale of 2 halves. Because the Bucks did, in fact, pick off Jay Cutler 3 times in the first half last week. They did, however, get torched by Matt Moore in the second half and make that game way closer than it needed to be, ultimately covering the spread on a fluky fumble that we were big time fans of. But Bucks defense was coming around, so it's really interesting to see how that plays out against a much better opponent. The Falcons, big win over Seattle last week, and now they really got to get things rolling against a Bucks defense that they can certainly expose, and an offense that has weapons, but one that they can hold in check because they're strong on the outside, and the Bucks have trouble running the ball thus far. And Titans Colts, I think we could be in for a lot of points unless it's a lot of ineptitude. I think Jacoby Brissett has had a QB1 starts over the last month. He's been mixing in some top 12 performances, top 15, top 12. He's right there on the bubble, and I think this could be a really good spot for him. The Titans have been just torn apart the last couple of weeks. AB to Ben to AB times 3 on Monday, and now they got T.Y. Hilton. Really good spot for him. He's a league winner when he puts it together, man. T.Y. Hilton is gross. That's another guy for your DFS. A little Jacoby Brisket, T.Y. Hilton stack. That's not a lot of money for some big time point potential. Jacoby Brissett, a runner too. Extra points. Tier 3, I pumped the brakes on a lot of matchups today because I think, like I said earlier in the show, there's a lot of matchup-specific games today that we got to keep an eye on, and we have to just tinker our lineup against certain defenses. The Bears running attack against the Eagles' #1 running defense makes me super nervous. The Eagles have back-to-back blowouts, but the Bears defense is above average. Patriots, same way. Everything on paper says the Patriots are going to blow the Dolphins away. Something about it is freaking me out. I don't get it. I don't understand why I'm getting so stressed about it, but I don't feel good about this game for some reason. Mike Gillislee, healthy scratch. We love that. Panthers, Jets, 2 good defenses possible, like 16-9 game. I'm just nervous. Seahawks, Niners, everything set up for Seattle to dominate, and yet the last time these teams played, the Seahawks needed to rescue it in the 4th quarter, and Carlos Hyde had his best game of the year. Another thing just to keep in mind as we put our lineups together today. And Packers at Steelers. I like all my Steelers, not so much on my Packers, so it becomes tier 3 because only one of the teams is a smash. And just games I don't like. Oh, those are from last week. Good Lord, I hate myself. Wow. Games I don't like is Broncos Raiders. Man, that stinks. Broncos Raiders, 2 new coordinators plus Paxton Lynch. I have no idea what to make of that. And Browns Bengals. I also total garbage fire. 2 bad quarterbacks and decent defenses makes for a very slow and sloppy game. And the last tier 4 matchup is the Monday night affair. Ravens, Texans, again, 2 bad quarterbacks. The Ravens have 3 shutouts this year, going for a 4th, very possible on Monday night. Should be just a horrible Monday night game. Those are your Dirty Dozen Week 12 game outlooks. Baby, it was all a dream. All right, man. Another week of local TV games that validates getting red zone next year. Dude, stream it. Budo, just stream it, man. You'll be so much off better. I've been streaming NBA games through my Xbox. I actually just messaged Gary about it because he just found out about r/NBA streams. And I was like, dude, you put it through your Xbox. It is perfect. And you still have your laptop for another game. So get on it. Only one Kenobi. My only quarterback is Fitzpatrick. Told man league. Should I stick with him or should I browse around? Fitzmagic's not terrible. Jameis is coming back in a couple weeks, though. Jameis had a little PRP, a little Germany shot. If you browse around, let me know what you find because every league is different in terms of size and scoring, and there are usually options at quarterback each week. That's why some people stream a quarterback every week. It's a very viable strategy, and I think it's possible to stream a different quarterback every week of the season and still be a title contender. 100% possible. Because bad quarterbacks can still win matchups. It's coaching. Thoughts on Greg Olsen? I think he'll play more than 50% of the snaps because he's an Iron Man and he doesn't like being on the sidelines. I also think that Cam Newton loves to get him in the ball. I just don't. As far as tight ends, there's a lot of good tight ends. But if you have Greg Olsen, just throw him in there, man. It's Greg freaking Olsen. We know what's good. Come on now. Explain more about how we are winning $1 million on DraftKings. Well, Drop in Science, today is the 75th Millionaire Classic on DraftKings. It is a $75 contest, and the first prize is awarded $1 million. I'm going to say that again. You have to pay $75 or the cost of a nice meal for two, maybe at a steakhouse, maybe sushi for two, and your first prize is $1 million. Is DraftKings going to make some money? Hell yeah. They're going to make some of your money. Do you have a shot at changing your life? Oh, fuck yeah. Because the thing is, DraftKings is less gambling than real gambling. If you want to play the $240 billion Powerball, do it. But you have so little control. Here, in DFS, you and I have some semblance of control because we've done the homework. Like, okay, right off the bat, I'll tell you this. You're not starting Jared Goff. You're not starting Derek Carr. You're not starting Marcus Mariota. You're not starting Flacco, Hundley. You're not starting Savage. So like Trubisky, Kaiser, exactly. So all the ones that Kenobi just mentioned is available, you're not starting those. So your odds of finding a perfect quarterback are really just like 1 in 12, which is so legit. And then it just goes from there, right? There's a finite player pool. And with a finite player pool, your odds are tremendous. That's what I like so much about the Thanksgiving slate. There's only 3 guys. It's only 3 teams. So when there's only 3 games, there's only 6 quarterbacks to choose from. You nix Eli, and you nix Dak because the Cowboys are terrible right now. And you only had 4 quarterbacks to choose from. Very, very winnable. Kenobi, what's up, baby? Let's go through those other quarterbacks. Dalton, Moore, Flacco, Beathard, Kaiser, Trubisky are the only other ones. So other than Beathard, who's turned in a couple nice performances but has Seattle, and Dalton, who threw 3 touchdowns against Denver last week but is always a sketchy play because he's Andy Dalton, I think you're sticking with Fitzmagic. I think you're okay with it. I don't know if that yawn is good for hiccups or not, but I've been motoring. I'm not like tired or anything. I've been motoring. I had somebody stop me in ShopRite. Scott watches the show. Scott, I don't know if you're here. What's up, man? He was just like, I love the show. You drink a lot of water. I was like, damn straight, homie. Straight cash. Yeah, I think Fitzmagic is fine this week, and then we move on. We go from there. Yeah, and Case Keenum over Carr the rest of the way. Absolutely, Tanner. Derek Carr's broken, dog. Listen to we had chances with Derek Carr. Derek Carr gave us matchups against Washington in primetime. He gave us the Dolphins in primetime. He gave us Patriots in Mexico, and he couldn't get shit Done. Pardon my French, it's a family show. But Derek Carr's back is broken, and he's having real problems, and he just can't take the shots, and he's not good this year. He's not good. He's not good. Give me Case Keenum. Case Keenum's locked in, by the way, playing his best ball of his life. He's not good. He's not good. He's not good. Hey, Budo, you're wrong. All right, Tim, let's talk about Nate Peterman. Actually, let's take Cindy's question first. What's going on, Cindy? Thank you for popping into the Checkdown. This is a live 3-hour fantasy football show hosted by your boy on heavy.com. We're doing fighting game character power rankings at 11:30. So there's that. Let's talk about Doug Martin or Dion Lewis. So Doug Martin has been Mr. Volume and Mr. Do Nothing with said volume. Over 20 carries last week, Cindy, and unable to do anything with them. The Buccaneers are just running to keep the defense thinking that they could be doing either. And it honestly comes down to production and total offensive efficiency, because Doug Martin is good or is bad, but his offense isn't great, right? The Bucs have been struggling. And then we get a guy like Dion Lewis, who's the most used back in the league's best offense. So based on that metric and his increasing touch rate and his utilization in the passing game, which is always strong, and his short yardage goal line work, I think Dion Lewis is trending towards must start for the rest of the season. And it really goes by week to week usage. But James White's getting phased out. Mike Gillislee is actually deactivated today, Cindy. He's not even on the roster. What's going on, Suhu? Thanks for popping in. I love you, man. Missed you on Friendsgiving. I don't know if you were invited. Probably not. Whatever. Doug Martin, I can't go with him right now, especially over Dion Lewis, Cindy. Cindy, give me Dion Lewis. I'm going to save that in my notes of all the tough fantasy decisions I make each week. And while we're here, we can revisit last week's. Then we could talk about Case Keenum. And then we could talk about Nathan Peterman. I've been really trying, baby. Win $1 million on DraftKings. Okay, week 12, we want Dion Lewis over Doug Martin, baby. Upside, inside out. Week 11, we did Robert Woods over Emmanuel Sanders. That was a hit, and then he got hurt. Burkhead and Crowell over Abdullah and Rod Smith. That one did not hit. Rod Smith had the game's only touchdown. I believe Abdullah scored 2. And Burkhead, his fumble just destroyed his value. Burkhead would have been the guy here, but his value just got destroyed by an early fumble. But 1 for 1, 1 out of 2, hitting 50%. Hey, you hit 50% in baseball. You're a GD Hall of Famer. It's a family show. All right. All right. Now, ladies. Yeah. Okay, let's catch up. Hold on. McFadden's agent. Healthy, feeling great, ready for a new start. Yeah, he's washed. He's done. That's a good agent, though, saying all the right things. So Case Keenum, Budo, it's so funny because I just explained something to you and you agreed with me, and then you literally just did a circle and you're like, okay, but why though? Like, the reason Case Keenum is so good right now is because Adam Thielen is so good. He's catching everything. So now you have your number 2 receiver is blossoming into one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL. Completely uncoverable. It frees up your number 1 receiver, Stephon Diggs. It frees up your number 1 tight end, elite, Kyle Rudolph. It frees up your 2-headed running attack, including your interior running game, because you have to play more defensive backs because you can't cover Thielen. You can't play linebackers because you have to have a safety on Rudolph, you have to have doubles on Thielen, and you have to have real coverage on Diggs. You can't put a linebacker on any of those guys, or you're going to get burned by McKinnon on a wheel route. So you have to play a smaller package, and then you're just getting banged by Latavius Murray inside. You are tactically getting beaten by the Vikings on all levels, and Case Keenum is getting all the credit because when he needs to make the throws, he has to make the throws. And I think that that's an important facet of a quarterback's game that not all of them have, Brett Hundley, but it elevates you from game manager to stud MVP candidate. It's one of the reasons I don't like Alex Smith, because he would much rather throw it out of bounds and take a chance. Case Keenum is making the throws and hitting open receivers, and making right decisions, and he's running the ball really well. And all those things combined, you tactically cannot stop that, because you cannot stop all of those things at once. You have to allow either Thielen to run open, you have to allow Rudolph in a good matchup, you have to give the middle some space for Murray. You cannot stop all of the Vikings' weapons at once. Other teams have done this to success, and now the Vikings are the latest team where the way you're opening things up, you make it literally impossible to stop when you're rolling. And schematically, you just have to tip your cap to Mike Zimmer, the one-eyed bandit. He is a freak tactician, and he has the Vikings looking like legitimate title contenders. So that is why Case Keenum has been good. It has very little to deal with Case Keenum, but it still does. But it's just as much to deal with everybody else on the team. And I hope that makes sense when we talk about why the Vikings have emerged as legitimate contenders in the NFC. Okay, Pumpkin? Let's talk about Nathan Peterman. So the Bills made a change last week, right? It's kind of fun. I mean, it worked well for me and my Chargers defense that I streamed. They go with Nate Peterman over Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor has had like 2 multiple interception games in his career, and Nate Peterman threw 6.5 of football. So literally the worst fantasy quarterback performance of all time. And so Bills management, right? Bills new ownership, looking at their roster construction and a draft pick on the way and new ownership moving forward. Remember that Tyrod Taylor's not their guy. He's old regime guy, right? Not to mention Tyrod Taylor, $6 million due next season. $6 million, right? The Bills looking ahead in the schedule, right? We got the Patriots twice. You got to play the Chiefs. You got tough matchups on the road. Let's just see what Nate Peterman can do with no defense and no offensive weapons and no line against a great pass rushing defense. Was it fair? No. Was it logical? No. Did I feel like it needed to be done? In some sense. Was the time right? No. But, so like my biggest problem with preseason evaluations is it's not a competitive game, right? And if you're going to throw Peterman in there week 17 when the season's over, it's not a competitive game, right? So you're at least giving Nathan Peterman a chance to succeed against a team that needs that game. But you've just destroyed that kid's confidence so much to a point where what's he going to be like the next time he steps on the field? Is he going to be a little trigger shy? Was it a bad decision? Absolutely. I think that's what happens when you get these new owners. They just want to do stuff like that. They want to show up to practice and run routes. Like that's what new owners want to do. They want to meddle. They just want to meddle. They want to meddle. This is me just meddling. They just want to meddle. But I think that was a terrible decision, and I'm glad Tyrod got his job back. I'm glad he got it back in the second half. And we'll see how he does, because now he's playing for his next job. I would love to see him in a Giants uniform. Hey now, don't dream it's over. God, wouldn't that be beautiful? Just give me Tyrod in blue, baby. I mean, our shade of blue. He's already in a different shade of blue. Let's catch up with the chat, because we've been, just plodding along to the end of this first hour. We got 2 more coming up after that, including power rankings and some DFS talk, because we're trying to win $1 million. Lawrence Maroney, Willie Parker, PPR flex. You have to go with Willie Parker because of the PPR upside out of the backfield. You know, that Todd Haley offense. Randall L is hurt, and Parker could have a really good shot at stepping up. Cindy wants to drop Doug Martin like me. Hogan's out, Woods out. Should I pick up Josh Reynolds? I would like to see who else is available for you, Cindy. I'm not big on like a pick up and play on Reynolds, plug and play. I'm sure there's probably a better plug and play candidate on free agents. I know that's kind of crazy, but I believe Budo, I would make that move if he's on the waiver wire. That's very solid. And that's crazy, right? I think we're all just still good on quarterbacks. But I was trying to trade for quarterback, and no one wanted it, and now Keenum's just sitting there. It's kind of weird. Tom McDonald had a question. Henry, Cooper, or Greg? So I love Cooper Kupp this week. No Bobby Woods. No, 2 Saints corners are out. They're going to slide the good corners to the outside, the bad corners inside. Give me the slot guy that's been breaking starters. Cooper Kupp's been doing well against starting slot corners, okay? So when you get a backup slot corner in an offense that needs to move the ball, it happens. It happens. Cindy, Ellington's a rough plug and play too, but I definitely like Ellington better than Reynolds. Crowell or Burkhead can scoop up Alex Collins or Booker PPR. Scoop me up Alex Collins, not for the PPR upside because that's going to go to Woodhead now, but I think a Monday night he's got a great chance at extended second half carries, really bleed a game out. I can't see the Ravens throwing the ball 30 times in that game. That's crazy. When you look at Corey Clement, like we took a couple Corey Clement questions earlier, you know Carson Wentz only completed 14 passes last week, right? And he had like 19 the week before. Like, not every week is the third string running back going to get these shots. Whoa, Tanner, what's that for? What does that do for you? What is that? Por qué, brother? Por qué? Oh, by the way, guys, if anybody here has seen Live PD, what a show. What a show. It's Red Zone for cops. It's awesome. I watched it last night. What a show. All right. Cindy Goodwin is another guy I want on my lineup, but I don't know if I want this week. Where was that one with Cooper? Yeah, Cooper Kupp, McDonald. That's a rough one, man. Obviously, we want to start Amari, but we would rather have Kupp this week. Suhu, Cooper, or Watkins, PPR. So I'm like not a Sammy Watkins believer. This is a matchup of 2 of the more disappointing running wide receivers this season. Probably 2 of the most disappointing wide receivers in fantasy this season. I would flip a coin and then take the other one. Give me Amari Cooper. Oh man, that really sucks. God, I hate this question, Suhu. Bleep you, man. I really can't take Amari Cooper. His numbers, his game log is so sad this year. It's so sad. Give me Sammy Watkins. Saints are missing corners. He's a good value. And then there's this note, by the way, Suhu. Rain and more rain scheduled for Raiders Broncos. I really got to turn my brightness down. Updated forecast, 63% chance of rain at kickoff, 15 to 20 mile an hour gusts. That is your report for Raiders Broncos, okay? I'm getting a Twitter question about Wentz versus Roethlisberger. That was a girl last week. It was Sarah, dude. Sarah. I did it a million times. That was great. That was so much fun. I'm missing her and Hunter. Where's Hunter from last week? He almost got into a kissing contest. Could pick up Martavis, Amendola, or Decker if you don't like Cooper or Sammy Watkins. Don't move on. No way. Don't move on. Hang out. Make it a thing. Make it a big thing. Stop the show. I love that stuff, man. What's going on, Jake Gerwitz? Thanks for checking out the show, baby. This is the Checkdown. 3 hours of fantasy advice. Have you heard our theme song? It's the top of the hour, so it means I bang on it. And I'm going to play this theme song while I think about your question of Crowell, Collins, RB2. It's No Shave November. God, I can't wait to get this thing off my face. That's a fact, Jack.
I gotta tweet. I gotta tweet.
Anywho, we're heading into our second hour of action. I gotta get into Matthew Berry's tweets, dog. I gotta get into these Berry tweets so people know what is up. Dalton or Carr? Bruh, check out the show. Also, Dalton. So normally I have a show that I have a tweet that says the checkdown and what my show is about, and then I'm like answering your question. But this is a link that just says, hey, 10-1 live. So we'll see if anybody comes in and checks out the show. Fighting for playoffs, Lamar Miller or Christian McCaffrey? That's another really good question. PPR McCaffrey, standard Miller. Doyle or Olsen? Another good question. I like Olsen. Jack Doyle's such a scrub. Matt, start Ajayi or McCaffrey as my flex? Another good question. Give me Ajayi standard, McCaffrey PPR. Jags D or Bengals D? Another good question. I like that. Jags D. This week and every week, Jags have held every single quarterback this year to a quarterback 18 finish or worse. Field Yates ate a booger. I'm trying to find more questions to answer. I'm working on it. We out here. Let's catch up with the chat. It's the second hour of Let Checkdown. I'm out here. Crowett or Collins, RB2. Give me Collins in a heavy run script game Monday night against the Texans. Sorry, you got to wait till Monday. Thank you for hyping up the theme song, baby. Like, I love that, Budo. I love that. That shit bangs. Clayton Brown. Yo. It's your boy with the flow. I got a microphone, and I'll let y'all know about our fantasy updates because it's my show. We go for 3. You're looking at me. I give you updates, and you give me emojis. That's it. It's like 5 bars. Any David Johnson updates? So, Bruce Arians had a press conference this past week, and he dropped a little nugget saying that nobody that's on injured reserve is making any progress, which is like kind of a ridiculous quote, but it's 100p what he said, and that means David Johnson and Carson Palmer are likely never coming back ever. So that's super disappointing, and that's just how we're gonna have to live moving forward. I would much rather have Aaron Rodgers on my redraft league that's non-keeper. I would much rather have Aaron Rodgers on my lineup right now than David Johnson. I think one has a much better chance of hanging around for the end of the season than the other, especially the way Packers are just kind of hanging around and how bad they've been playing and how open the NFC wildcard race kind of is. Oh, Budo, you have no idea. He's on the air right now. He's doing Fantasy Life, and his mentions are insane. And it's half people trying to like talk to him during the show, and it's mostly people with like flex questions, like Andy Dalton or Derek Carr. Like, it is ridiculous. And not only that, it's what this show is built on. The Checkdown rises from the filth that is Matthew Berry's mentions. We have the hose and the air, and we're just siphoning off. We're just siphoning off Matthew Berry's mentions into my own show. That's the plan of the show. And then eventually people realize, he's burnt toast, we-ish, and then it just goes from there. If I had 10 times the viewers, I really don't even know what I'd do with myself, but I'd probably wipe clean the emoji board a little earlier so we can get emoji board season 2 up and firing. Should I be worrying about Kareem Hunt, Eric DLC? I would not. I would not be worried about Kareem Hunt. He's just not getting enough touches, and he's getting run on the interior. I want more outside runs. I want more stretch runs. I want more tight end blocking. And he just ran over and over again up the middle against the Giants. That's why he had such a bad game, but he still averaged over 4 yards a carry in that game. So why aren't you giving him more than 19 touches? So really frustrating at times, and we'll see where he goes how Andy Reid tries to use him. Maybe he tries to save him for the later end of the season. What's going on, sup all 911? That's a sup emergency. I'm going to hit you with this answer. I'm going to come back around. Don't worry about Kareem Hunt. He's got a pretty good schedule down the stretch, and he keeps getting involved in all the different ways. And Big Ben retiring maybe at the end of the year, but I just think that when Big Ben stands up in a press conference and says, maybe I don't have it anymore, that he's joking, and we're all taking that way, way, way too seriously. I just can't help but get that feeling. But he looked pretty good on Monday, you know what I'm saying? So we go from there. Sup all, please help me with a capital H for help, Walker or Olsen, and then we're going to keep it moving. Give me Delaney Walker, but I'm not crazy about it. If it's PPR, I would heavily go Walker, but if it's not PPR, I would be a little bit more on the fence because I think Olsen can score today because he's such a good red zone target. What do I think about Amendola this week? Would I start him over Watkins and Amari Cooper? I probably would. You're always nervous that he's going to take one shot. He'll end up with one catch for 19 yards and a concussion, and that's pretty much a day at the office for him, but I don't want that. I think he'll do better than that, and he's got a great matchup. The Dolphins have been getting rinsed by slot receivers. I almost said snot receivers. Woo! He might boogie his way into the end zone. What a... Let's keep it moving. Pick one, Landry, Adams, Marquise Lee, or T.Y. Hilton. So T.Y. Hilton is the home run play. He is the big baller play. He is the tournament play. He is the high risk for play. He is the high ceiling play. Your basement play is probably Jarvis Landry. The Patriots have really stepped up their defense the last 6 weeks, but Landry is still a target monster, and if it's PPR, Landry should be an every week PPR starter. But I can't help but feel like T.Y. Hilton's just going to crush it today against the Titans because he only needs one. Jarvis Landry very much does not. He needs much more than one, you know? And Matt Moore's trash. And I feel better about T.Y. Hilton. So, you know, you got the basement and the ceiling play for you, Clay. I give you both ends of the spectrum. And now you know. Knowing is half the battle. Eric DLC. Jamal Williams from the Packers or Duke Johnson Jr. Standard. I would go with Duke Johnson. Solid PPR, solid touches. Jamal Williams, yeah, he's been getting looks, but the problem isn't with him. It's with the Packers offense and with the Ravens defense. So it's not even just the offensive matchup. It's against the defense he's going against, and I would much rather have Duke Johnson, who has a nice little basement built up for him. Jack Doyle or Olsen. Tanner, I like Olsen. I'm pretty much sure we just did that. Thoughts on Brissett being a serviceable backup quarterback? I mean, in fantasy, he's almost been a serviceable starting quarterback. He's top 15 like 6 of the last 8 weeks. The team can't really run the ball that well, and he makes plays. He makes plays with his legs. Rushing touchdowns are huge, and he's great with them in the red zone. T.Y. Paris Hilton going to work the balls today. Whatever you said, I like that. But Jake, yeah, I think Brissett should go in a lineup. I think Brissett should compete for a starting job somewhere. He can play, and he's got a big arm. He's got a really big arm, and he's got good pocket presence. He's taken some really hard shots this year, mostly because the Colts are basura. But I think that he has a decent chance to be a quarterback in this league along the lines of David Garrard, where you're down, but you're never out if Jacoby Brissett is on your roster. Tim, I thought I broke that down pretty good, though. Say what you want about Case Keenum. I thought I answered that about as accurate as it could get over why he's so successful. It's not him. We know that. If Jeff Fisher couldn't make him successful, right? Nobody can. All right, Tom, give me 1 second. Hi, Mom. My mom doesn't watch. Week 16 championship, the Vikings do play the Ravens. Big if true for you Thielen believers. Oh, Jake, I think Sanu and Coleman are must starts today. great matchup for them. Tampa really bad against the slot. You know who was against the slot against them last week? Kenny Stills. He duded on him. The Colts week 16 championship, he plays the Ravens. That's rough. I definitely don't want that. I mean, you shouldn't be Jacoby Brissett. You're probably not going to ride him all the way to a fantasy championship. You just want him to be able to play the matchups because he was in the AFC South. So you got a couple of good matchups there. Oh, yeah. Jake, you should be totally fine with Sanu and Coleman. Completely gashed last week. The Bucs were. The Falcons offense is starting to put it together a little bit more. Bricky by bricky, says Ricky. Eric, wow. Nobody told you to do that, Eric. That's one of the spicier things anybody has said on the show this year, Eric. So be about it, man. I can't tell you what to do. Damn. It's clearly your first week watching the show. I get it. Yay! What's going on, Clayton's girlfriend? It's your boy. It's the show. We're here till 1. Barry doesn't know. That's Matthew Barry. He's garbage. How did the Giants figure out how to play D again? Tim wants to know. Well, I mean, they got rinsed by Jamison Crowder and Samaje Perine on Thursday. So, yeah, Eric, that's so aggressive. I don't think the Giants figured out how to play D again. They had a great defensive game in 25-mile-per-hour winds in their home stadium 2 weeks ago, and that's their big defensive turnaround. So I'm not 100% sold. Listen, the Giants have always had a good line. They've always had Snacks on the inside and JPP and Vernon on the outside. That's never been their problem. The problem has always been linebackers because they don't want to pay for them and they don't want to draft them high. So they never have linebacker depth. So they can't cover tight ends. They can't cover backs out of the backfield. And they paid for corners and their corners are old. Jenkins is old. DRC's old. Eli Apple was their big draft acquisition. He's having a mess of a personal life of a season. His mom's got a brain tumor. His dad's having the cops called to his house. He's having a miserable personal life, and his teammates are just coming down on him for his football play. Like football's the most important thing in his life right now. It's not. So the Giants defense is not good. They have their own problems, and their problems are personnel. It's not execution. They don't have the good players. They have some of them. So situationally, that's what I'm so mad about the Chiefs just running Kareem Hunt up the middle. Like, you can still run to the outside if it's windy, but they didn't. They're just running right at Damon Harrison. There's literally 2 Pro Bowlers, 2.5, because JPP is not a full person anymore. There's 2.5 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line, and you're just running delayed handoffs into the teeth of the defense. It's so stupid, and you wonder why you lose. Coming off a bye, Andy Reid, you moron. Under 4 catches, minus 125. Olsen to ideally play half the snaps. Carolina 65 snaps a game on 53% Newton completions per game today. Only 4 catches. Ew, gross. Okay, so what did we miss? Alex Smith pissed me off and Bortles had an easy schedule, so that's why I did it. I went too hard on Alex Smith. Yeah, you did go too hard on Alex Smith. What? I love it. Jaguars run the ball more than any team in the league. Bortles is cute, but... So, Supple, I get what you're saying, but that's called hard data. So it's like, great, but, you know, you're just, if every fantasy football week went the way of extrapolated data, then why would I be doing here? I would just be showing you spreadsheets for 3 hours and giving you optimal lineup suggestions. I do like that, Tim. Tim, he spited his way into Blake Bortles, and now he's gonna spite his way to a fantasy title. If Budo had a little more of that edge, he'd have Case Keenum on his roster already 3 months ago. That is so good. He's so savage. Clayton, who do you need in your parlay? I lost mine on Bama, obviously, because I'm a degenerate and I go chalk way too much. So who do you like in your, who's left in the parlay? I'll match that and I'll take the same 2 and we'll just root for money together because we are going for $1 million today. We are trying to change our lives. Schefter's doing plugs for IBM Watson like he wouldn't be the best fantasy host on the planet. Imagine how easy it would be if I just could ask Watson, the IBM Jeopardy winning robot, all your fantasy questions. Hey, Watson, Greg Olsen or Delaney Walker? I just got very good news, guys. Very close to my house, they are building a Korean fried chicken restaurant. What's going on, Nabil? I hope you heard that, because I sent back the moisture emoji, because your boy's so out here for Korean fried chicken. So out here. I might get wings today. Okay, who's left? South Carolina and Bama were the two that screwed me yesterday. That's what I'm saying, yeah. Killing me, man. Killing me. Tim just casually name drops Lemon Bar. We get it, man. You're an exclusive guy. You're exclusive guy. You love your scloozy clues. That's funny that you saw Blake in 12 hours before the game, because I actually was at Whole Foods yesterday and I saw Tevin Coleman. It's unbelievable. I sent him to all my friends. I said, dog, you're supposed to be in San Fran. I said, it's a road game. It's a big game for you. No, they're at home in the Dome. They're in Atlanta. Stop it. I just saw him at Whole Foods and I couldn't. It just looked so much like him. Or maybe it was just, maybe it was just. All right, let's catch up with the chat. Nabil's here. What's going on, baby? Thanks for checking out the show. Third week in a row for you, I think. That's a career high. I like that you're putting up big numbers. Let's get those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers. I think we're going to do shows through the playoffs for DFS. I think Wildcard Weekend would be a really fun DFS show, and we could do it on Saturday, which, I mean, nobody's going to watch that, but the official Checkdown Hangover Edition. I did a Thanksgiving special. If you haven't seen it, I did a FaceTime with Mitch Renz for Chat Sports, and while I basted a turkey and made stuffing from scratch, I FaceTimed him and asked him about DFS. So the audio is super delayed because it's on FaceTime, but you do get to see me make stuffing from scratch. It was so good. Banging. And baste a turkey. I crushed my turkey this year. I got my recipe from the GOAT, Gordon Ramsay. Made an herb butter from scratch. Got it under the skin of the turkey. And then used a different recipe for the roasting because I didn't like the way he was roasting. I wanted more, just a different style for my basting because I thought his gravy was whack. He had like whole tomatoes in his gravy. It was gross. So what I did was I just kept dropping butter and chicken stock in the bottom of my roasting pan. So every time I basted, I had a baster full of butter and stock, and I dropped bacon strips over the top of my turkey so the moisture would drip down. So my baste was bacon residuals. Residuals. It's a franchise. Butter and stock, and we just hit that thing hard every 30 minutes. And I took it out a little early, let it sit for like 2 hours. Good golly, Miss Molly, we crushed that boy. Brrr. Let them all know. Let them know what we did there. Let them all know what we did up in there. Matthew Berry burned his turkey 100%. Matthew Berry used an electric turkey carver 100%. Matthew Berry is a white meat only, no gravy 100%. Let's win a milli. I can't believe we're going to try to win $1 million today. It's actually insane when you think about it. Let me join the contest because I don't want it to fill up. There were like 20,000 spots left when the show started. Obviously that fills up. I burped. That fills up exponentially faster as we get closer to kickoff time. So I want to get in this contest and make sure that I can actually join. Oh, there's only 5,000 seats left. It's filling up quick. Reserve my spot. Reserve entry, baby. I'm in. I'm in, baby. Okay, let's what's this $1 million contest? I'm very confused. We'll take a look at this. I'll just pull it up for you. These are the contests I'm entered in. Your boy is super not playing around. NFL 75th Millionaire Special. 1 million. There it is. Now you can really see it. 75th Millionaire Special. $1 million to first place today. $75 entry fee. It's not cheap, but your boy's got a little scratch here. I'm also in the mini the mini millionaire special, $200K to first. That's only a $7.50 entry fee. So we can enter $7.50 to win $200K, or you can enter $75 to win $1 million. I'm doing both because I want the money, because I hate working. I want that money, baby. I watch football. All right? I know what's up with the football, okay? There's only like 15 receivers to choose from here, okay? There are really not that many choices when we break it down. When we break down who is actually a choice, who is actually going into the lineup, there's really, really not that many choices. Like, the numbers are small. So we can reverse engineer as many things as we want and take things off the board. Take things off the board. Suhu, are you really doing this? It's DraftKings, dog. It's DraftKings. So you gotta pick a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, a flex, and a defense under a salary cap. That's it. It's DraftKings, baby. It's not picks. It's $1 million. It's $1 million. You and I watch football. You and I know about football. You and I should be able to get this done, collaborate on a good lineup, and change our lives with some money. The more I talk about it, the more I'm feeling a Tom Brady, Brandon Cooks stack. I just feel like the Dolphins can't cover anybody. Brandon Cooks has been so disappointing, but I feel like when he gets it, he is electric, and he is a fly route guy, and he is a boomer bust guy. Oh my God, it gets me so sweaty thinking about it. So sweaty thinking about it. So sweaty thinking about it. I'm in the 5-1-0, most disappointing Raider season ever. I had Hunt, McCoy, Gurley in the beginning of the season, traded both Gurley and McCoy. Could have had the best RB core of all time. Yeah, man, nobody told you to do that, Eric. But if I had to say, Eric, I'd say you were a little aggressive with your roster moves in the fact that at one point you had McCoy, Hunt, Gurley, and Alex Smith, and now you have Hunt. That is kind of insane when you think about it. You sold so much so fast. It's like, oh shit, I sold my couch. I got nothing to sit on. Oh, man. Have you, Oh, Kiazo, send me your lineup. Send me your lineup. I'll do a mini boy with your lineup. And I want to talk about... So, like, here's things that I love this week for this millionaire stack. I really want to talk more about this millionaire stack. I love J.D. McKissick, right? I love J.D. McKissick. Very cheap, very high usage, very good matchup. That checks so many boxes for me, right? So many boxes. What's going on, Survivor Dylan? Thanks for joining the show, my man. Can I give you mine? Yeah, dude, give me your picks. We're doing this together. We're all getting in on this together. And then I'm going to give you all money. We're all going to share money. Send the Venmo requests. So McKissick is going to be my cheap running back, probably. So I can go high prices and otherwise. Defense, I normally go cheap. So I'm thinking about going Patriots defense because the Matt Moore's had some really bad starts. But I also think he's had really good starts. And the Patriots defense hasn't been great. And they haven't gotten a lot of turnovers. So what do you guys think about the Raiders defense? The Raiders defense has been really bad this year, right? Really bad, roasted by Tom Brady last week. So their value is so bad. But they get Paxton Lynch's first start of the season, new offensive coordinator, and they have a new defensive coordinator, right? So they have a new defensive coordinator. They got Khalil Mack, the sack machine. Suhu, because I'm doing this right now. I'm breaking this down because the price on the Raiders defense is so low because the Raiders defense has been so bad. Paxton Lynch hasn't been able to throw all season because he's been on the IR with a shoulder injury, and now he's going to start over Brock Osweiler. It makes me so nervous because it's such a low value play. Their secondaries, but that's Eric. I know, Eric. Their secondary's always getting burned, but now it's Paxton Lynch, my guy. I know, Eric, but look, I'm saying Paxton Lynch that's Paxton Lynch, man. Suhu, I know what you're saying, but they both have a new coach. They got a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator. And if the Raiders got a new defensive coordinator and the Broncos got a new offensive coordinator. And if I had to pick one, I would take the Raiders defensive coordinator because they have Khalil Mack. And Paxton freaking Lynch is so bad. Paxton Lynch is so bad. But it's a cheap play, and if they don't get a touchdown, like if the defense doesn't score a touchdown, then we're going to lose. So maybe I go Jags, get some Blaine Gabbert in my life, Mr. Pick 6. Yo, Gabbert. Yo, Gabbert. I like Eagles against the Bears too, but I think that one might be too much money. Okay, so the top 5 defenses are Jaguars, then Bengals, then Seahawks, then Chiefs, which I don't like at all. The Chiefs defense has been horrible, and they're not getting Peterman. And then the Eagles, then the Patriots, then the Panthers, then the Broncos, then the Titans, then the Raiders. Raiders down at 3,000. Hey, John, what's up? Yaz, I saw it and I texted you back because I really don't like AP. I really don't like Julius Thomas either. I wish you would take those two out. I think there are much better options at those levels. I like that we're talking so much about defense because I think this is super important. In terms of quarterback, we're going to do a specific segment about DFS quarterbacks later, but Brady is by far the most expensive at $7,700, Wentz the next at $72, and then Russell Wilson at $7. I think those are too rich for my blood because I'd rather have Breeze at $69, or even Cam at $66. It's really rough. Matt Ryan at $64 is a good one too. Tyrod Taylor at 58. I don't want to give this whole segment. I'm pretty much giving this segment away. So let's stop. Let's take a deep breath. Let's reset. Remember, guys, we're going after $1 million today. We're trying to put our best lineup together. Not to win a couple bucks. $1 million. What do you guys think about okay, so listen to me. Everybody listen to me. I got a real quick question. What do you guys think about a Russell Wilson, Jimmy Graham, JD McKissick stack? Now, I can't help but get so nervous for this. Rashard Matthews is inactive today. Danny Amendola is active today. I can't help but get nervous about this, being in San Fran on the late start. And the last matchup was not so clean, but I do think that the Seahawks are moving in the right direction offensively. Wilson is a great play. That's what I'm saying. I do think it's not the worst idea for a Seahawks mega stack. It's usually a stack that gets us the milli because one team has blowout potential and they get it done. I don't think the 49ers are the team that gets blown out, but I do think they've had enough problems on defense and are shorthanded enough that the way the Seahawks move the ball, which is Russell Wilson improvising and getting the back on the move out of the backfield and quarterback running to keep first downs, is going to be massive against this matchup. But if the Seahawks only score 13 points, you ain't winning shit. All right, Budo, you did the 750 to win 200K. I love it. Send me your lineup. Let's talk about it. Standard League. Let's do Jeff Steps' question. Jeff, I'm going to answer your question, and then we are going to talk about power rankings. It's 11:30. We do it every week. It's about that time. So Standard League, Doug Martin versus ATL. I hate it. McKissick against the 49ers. I love it. Woodhead versus Houston. I hate it in Standard. Watkins versus New Orleans. I don't necessarily love it in Standard. Amendola versus Miami. I'm not the most excited about it in Standard. Cooper versus defense or Deshaun versus Atlanta. I'd rather have Deshaun versus Atlanta. If I had to pick absolutely won. It's fucking crazy, but it's a family show. I'm sorry. But I like J.D. McKissic. 42 routes run last week. The clear number one in that backfield. They liked that other guy, Mike James or whatever. He didn't even finish the game. It's McKissic because God wants it to be McKissic because he's getting all the other running backs hurt. So we're now left with McKissic, who's actually good. He's had consistent production, and he's dirt cheap. So here we go. No, it's the same thing, Eric. It's the exact same thing, baby. It's just for more money. Jets, Matt Forte is active. So that changes all our Bilal Powell stuff from earlier in the day. First round pick, John Ross is a healthy scratch. God damn, that sucks. Okay. I just liked an old tweet. I've been getting scrolled up on my text sometimes. Suhu, I will record this. I will post that. I'm gonna post the McKissic stuff and I'm gonna post the Viking stuff. I think. Let me just say this is at 1:32. I'm actually not recording this week because I think that it improves the overall quality of my laptop during the show. And I've also found that I can download the MP4s straight from YouTube because it's my video, it's my content, so I don't have to worry about recording it independently. So I'm going to see if I can pop that off and then put it right to YouTube. John Schultz, you were just in time for Checkdown Power Rankings Week 12 edition. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to come down. Christian, you missed very little. I just ranted about J.D. McKissic. I love him. Okay, so Christian and John, all you missed is that today is the 75th Millionaire Classic on DraftKings. The entry fee is $75. The first prize is $1 million, okay? That's a lot of pizza. So we are working on crafting the best possible lineup together. We're collabing. Everybody's sending me their lineups in text or on Twitter. We're talking about them. And we're doing our own lineups because it's week 12. It's a clutch week of the season. But it's 11:30. And you know what that means, boys. At 11:30, we do Checkdown Power Rankings. And this is one of my faves. I really hope I remembered to hide these because honestly, I think I didn't. I think I didn't hide these. Hold on. All right. So, okay, so now we're in studio mode. Now I can make my own cuts when I want. So that's just, if you saw something weird going, I'm in studio mode because I think that I forgot to check off. Ooh, it would have been spoiler alert R us. Look at that. Okay, everything is hidden. I think we just did this right. I think we just did that right. I got a bottom line out, cha. What's going on, Aparicio? How about it? So we are going to gut into our power rankings, and it's your boy. So welcome back to the Checkdown. It's your host, Rick Rosen. Every week we do our power rankings. If you know me, I am a child of the video game generation, and there is no more fun genre of video game than fighting games. They made our childhood. They brought video games to the forefront because their violence pushed them into a state where Congress needed to really talk about video games as elements of expression and art over smut. And fighting games have a very important place in the history of video games. So I'm going to give you my top 5. It is very personal. I don't expect you to agree. And we are going to take it nice and easy. There's some obscurities. Not really. Just this one. Number 5. Joe Budden. One of my favorite fighting games is Def Jam Vendetta. It is a wrestling game consisting of Def Jam rappers. It was way too much fun. It was way ahead of his time, and it was a damn good fighting game. Joe Budden was a late game unlockable character. He's absolutely filthy. And then from me as a young kid, not knowing who Joe Budden was, and then learning about Joe Budden was awesome. I learned about a lot of rap through that game, and just a very influential character in a very influential game that honestly needs a remake really bad. Who doesn't love rappers just pounding each other? And there's so many good rappers that I want to see get beat up. I just want Joe Budden to be here so that people know that I want this made, all right? So I got that out of the way. Number 4 is Balrog. Just call him Mike Tyson. My favorite Street Fighter character. It's Street Fighter, but yet this guy has just an odd, disciplined fighting style, great reach. There's so many good Street Fighter characters to choose from. It was basically between him and Stretchy Man Dalsim in this spot for me. Also liked Vega with the claws, but Balrog just because of the cut-off sleeves, and it's like, dude, this is so obviously Mike Tyson. I just loved that, and I loved his style, that big overhand. He's just nasty, and it was so much fun to play as. And it's like, when you think about the classic Street Fighter characters, they're lame. Like, Balrog is so different because he's also, like, real. But, like, Guile is a guy I was going to pick here. Guile's kit sucks. He'd just be here because he's American and he's a smoker. Balrog was super legit, and Mike Tyson never actually, like, got in a legit video game that wasn't boxing. So I think this is an important spot that he gets some shine. Number 3 is a classic, Link, Super Smash. Link has such a great kit growing up. When you play like older Legend of Zelda games, you're just like, if this were a fighting game, he would just be a beast. And when they finally did get him in the fighting game, they didn't sell him short at all, and it led to him being so dominant. My dude's got a sword. My dude's got a bow and arrow. My dude's got bombs that he throws. Look at the other names on this list. Balrog and Joe Budden are just tossing these hands. And then you got Link with this whole arsenal of weapons. It just made him so much different. And also, he was like a real person, like Samus, superpowers, Kirby, superpowers, garbage. Mario, Link's just out here scrapping, yo. Link's got a very basic setup. He's a grinder, and that's what I admire about him. That's how he made the number 3 spot. Number 2, very important person in video game history. Eddie Gordo was the equalizer for all children who wanted to play a fighting game. Button mashing is an important milestone in video game history, and nobody did it like mother flipping Eddie Gordon, the dance master. Just rock the buttons, dog. Eddie Gordo style. Ready? Fight. Eddie wins round 2. It's just too easy. It's too fun. And God forbid if you actually could figure it out, then you're doing all sorts of leg sweeps and you're bopping. Just a really fun, unique character. When we talk about character builds, like, they must have had so much fun making that character, and then his cultural impact. Like, he really did have like an extra element that brought him outside of the game. Easily Tekken's most identifiable character. And a real number 2 because he's solid. My number 1 fighting game character of all time. I'll let you guess for 5 seconds. 4, 3, let's get it. It's your boy. It's the only one who's an actual god. Ain't nobody. Oh, I thought it was Raiden. It's actually Scorpion. In your face. Get over here. As far as pop culture phenomenon, nobody did it better than Scorpion from the underworld. The hook, probably the best move in all of fighting games. I don't know why I thought I put Raiden here, but Scorpion is definitely better than Raiden. Scorpion has an insane kit, the most quotable move in maybe all of video games. Just Mortal Kombat, like, the combos were sick and they were easy to do. You just top that like back forward A and you're just launching an air spear at somebody. You pull him in, get that quick uppercut. Everybody wants that move in their arsenal. He was a beast. As he got older iterations of games, they only expanded his powers with some teleport stuff coming from the other side, coming from the bottom. He's always had some sick fire related fatalities. He's just a monster in the game, and literally nothing is better than Get Over Here. If the Mortal Kombat movie didn't have Get Over Here, it would have been a complete flop, except that it was a complete flop. But that scene with Scorpion fighting Johnny Cage might be the best scene in the movie. It's definitely shot the best. It's in like a big area with like lots of trees. It's a cinematic masterpiece, Mortal Kombat, if you haven't seen him. But that's the number 1. Come get your work at Way Too Confident on Xbox. I'll play you. Look at this work. Joe Budden 5, Balrog, then Link, Eddie Gordo with the button mash, and Scorpion, your number 1. These are your Checkdown official power rankings. You don't like it? Come fight me. You know where I am. 3 hours in the chair. We do it every week. So do you guys like that? You guys like that? We're out here. I love this, man. Oh wow, you guys actually we got some love for Def Jam Vendetta. I didn't see this. Dion Lewis or Devin Funchess for standard ranking in the flex. John, I would likely go with Dion Lewis. It's just a better offense in a better matchup. Funchess, he's gonna draw Mo Claiborne in shadow coverage. Greg Olsen is back. He's going to get maybe 1 to 2 less targets, which does matter, especially in the red zone. Olsen will be a power guy. Dion Lewis is slated to be the every down back for the Patriots, and they're finna blow out the Finns. So in that spot, I definitely like Lewis better than Funchess. Keep it moving. I'm gonna look at Budo's DraftKings lineup in a minute. Aparicio, we are getting so lit today, heading into our final hour. I love it. Oh, notable omissions were Goro and Ryu. Hayabusa probably should have been on there. I also liked the ninja from Virtua Fighter. I can't remember his name right now. DMX, Def Jam Vendetta. DMX did have a lot of nasty moves. Come on! Marge Simpson was really good. Dude, I love that you guys know Def Jam Vendetta. I was so about that life, dude. Def Jam Vendetta was so fun. Oh, man. Battle for New York. Like, the second one wasn't as good, but it was just a really well-made wrestling game. Like, it just is what it is. Wilson, Baldwin, Thomas. Okay, this is the mini. Russell Wilson, Baldwin, Michael Thomas, McKisson, Tevin Coleman, Kobe Fleener, Devontae Parker, Panthers D. I like that. I'm not crazy about Fleener. I know some people are because they like because New Orleans got a good offense. It's a no for me, dog. I think there's more productive tight ends out there. I just can't. I know you're trying to squeeze them in on value. It's a no. And Parker, Matt Moore throws to Kenny Stills like legitimately 20% more than he does Devontae Parker. If it was Cutler, I'd say Parker, but it's Matt Moore. You're honestly better off just going Stills and keeping the money and then using that money to upgrade Fleener. When I said DMX, I didn't think he'd actually have Def Jam on there. Sue, yeah, boy. I got you, man. I got you. That is so good. Oh, man. That is so funny. Yeah, dude. I love that game. I love that game. Not to mention Christina Milian is like repping super hard in that game. Getting it in. You had to like unlock lingerie shoots of the female wrestlers. It was so stupid. It was like so on brand for Def Jam, though. Raiden. Oh, you did guess Raiden, and I got it wrong. I'm super high. That's what I'm reading. It's not actually true. I did say Raiden, then I got it wrong because I make these too fast. Completely sober, starting my pregame. Sup all. I love it. Oh, man. Haymakers. Oh, my God. I love Def Jam Vendetta. It was so fun. And it's the first time I heard CNN. What? Stomp the shit out you. MOP. What? Stomp the shit out you. So good. What else? Okay, Budo, Newton, Kamara, Dion Lewis, Funchess, Hilton, Sanu, Doyle, Watkins, Panthers. I love that one too. I'm not crazy about Watkins and Doyle, but I love everything else. Like, you guys got 80% lineups I love, and then the stuff that I don't like is probably going to be the stuff that goes off because I don't know shit. It's going to be great if I registered for this Millionaire Maker and don't have time to actually put in the lineup and just throw $75 at the pot because I'm an idiot hosting the Checkdown. Ay. People are getting at me on Twitter like I'm not on a live show. Your boy's on a live show. I gotta take these rants from this show and put them over here into Twitter. You ever notice that reading out fantasy football lineup sounds a lot like new verses to We Didn't Start the Fire? Sometimes, yeah. Especially when it's like Marilyn Monroe, like it's Danny Woodhead too. I get it, what you're saying. I think you just listen to too much Billy Joel. 80s Joel. Adams, you're just joining us. We are making lineups for the 75th Millionaire Classic on DraftKings. You enter $75. First prize is $1 million. And we're all working on our lineups together, talking about who we want in, who we want at defense. And we're going for it, baby. It's the Checkdown. I'm so excited. Somebody watching my show is going to win $1 million. I like money. So Adams, for $750, the top prize is $200,000, and for $75, the first prize is $1 million. Can you imagine? Wait, just imagine. Okay, if I have a guy and he scores like the first touchdown of the day, right? And I check my DraftKings and it's like, you're projected to win $1 million. I'm screenshotting that shit 100 times and sending it to my mom. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm just doing it. Hey, Matthew Stafford's here. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. Enjoy the day off, Matty. Rough game on... Hey, how's your knee, man? You took a hard shot, dude. Exactly, Adams. Yeah, no, exactly. It's right here. Live. $1 million. I know a guy on Twitter. You might know Tommy G. I remember he won a big tournament earlier this year, and he had Brandon Cooks, and he just posted screenshots of him buying Brandon Cooks jersey with like next day rush delivery. I fucking love it. It's so funny. I want that feeling today. We've done the research. We've done our homework. We know there are guys we can't have. That means there's a finite pile of guys we can start, and we're going to start them. And that means there's a concrete percentage chance of us winning $1 million. It's not bogus. It's not Powerball. It's not spitting in the wind. There is a concrete chance based on skill, knowledge, and deductive reasoning that we're going to be a millionaire today. Okay, Matt. Hey, Matt, we're working on our Millionaire Maker lineups, so come back with a couple questions. Check your injury stuff. Matt Forte's in. Rashard Matthews is out. We're out here, dude. We're out here. Aparicio, PPR flex. Jack Doyle, Danny Woodhead, or McKissick. If it's PPR, which it is, I like Woodhead. Probably in the mood for 7 catches on Monday night. I got Twitter questions. Sorry. So I think that the things we've talked about is like we like Seahawks, but we're nervous. But I do like McKissick for that value. I think he is just a great start this week. Amendola is active, Suhu. Amendola is active, and Martellus Bennett is inactive. I'm looking at lineups. T.Y. Hilton is so attractive right now, I think. The more I look at it. I like Sanu too. Let's we're heading into the last hour. Let's do this DFS quarterback topic, right? We're going to run through these DFS quarterbacks, then we'll hit the theme song, then I'm going to plug my phone and we're going to make my Millionaire Maker lineup today. All right? I have players that I've talked about on this show that I like, and we will see if we can just jam them into a DFS lineup and get it going. Woodhead didn't do much last week, but he had 6 catches in his first game back, right? John Gonzalez. And then the Ravens were blowing out the Packers. So it was a two-way street, and Collins got all the work. So I think Woodhead for PPR, he can put up numbers because they're going to get him involved, especially it's his second week up. What's D.D. Westbrook up to today? So D.D. Westbrook is playing the Cardinals. We've talked about the Cardinals' problems with slot receivers, right? They have really bad slot coverage. D.D. Westbrook said he would get 200 yards in his debut game in the cold and the wind in Cleveland. He did tie for the team lead in targets. He and Keenan Cole, not only did they split time in the slot, they both had 6 targets. So he had his 6 targets and he finished with 3 catches for 39 yards. Not necessarily so productive. Sheree is not in the house yet, and we've talked about it and we're upset about it, okay? It's kind of a sensitive subject. Love it. But the value is still there, and the big play proposition is still there. Again, I am worried about the involvement and about just in general how the Jaguars operate, but the Cardinals have a good run defense. The Cardinals are giving up less than 3 yards a carry. And Leonard Fournette's going to get his touches, and then the play action's going to open. Cardinals have problems in the slot. It's a dart throw, but it's crazy. It's crazy. I love Woodhead today. Texans can't cover pass catching backs. It's incredible. They did. John, we fought off hookups in the first hour. We still got an hour. You just jinxed it, so don't worry about it. You just jinxed it. Sheree is not in the housey house. I'd miss the Y. Housey, house, housey, house, housey. Okay, so let me do this DFS quarterback lineup segment, right? And then we'll actually make the lineup while we go over while we listen to the theme song. So, quarterback, very important part. There's levels to this shit. Marty B is another interesting flex guy. You never know with those big plays. So Drew Brees is at the top tier for me because I think the Rams are going to be able to score on the Saints, and that means the Saints are going to have to throw. The Saints love to run the ball, but if they got to throw, Drew Brees knows how to throw the ball. And the Rams pass rush gives me grief. This is a high price. If I'm spending a high price, it's probably on Brady. That's just the way I got to work it because he's been so clutch the past couple of weeks, and you're paying so much money. Also, Russell Wilson is up at 7. The next step down is Matty Ice. Obviously, he's having a regression year, but he's against a Bucks defense that, remember, they picked off Jay Cutler 3 times in the first half, and then they were promptly destroyed by Matt Moore in the second half. My biggest issue with Matt Ryan is an early Falcons lead will give way to a heavy Tevin Coleman workload. That's why I love Tevin Coleman today. How about that? We're going to get him in a lineup, baby. So he's a good tier play, but Julio will score, I think, and always start Hall of Famers. The next level is Tyrod Taylor. So this is super cheap. And I think that the way he runs and the way he's discounted after last week brought down his value. Also, they could just switch to Peterman or whatever. I think the Chiefs have given up a lot of yards. They don't give up a lot of points, but they give up a lot of yards. And that's where Tyrod as a rusher can pick up a lot of points. And at 5,800, it gives you an extra chance to get a top tier receiver into your lineup. I like Tyrod Taylor on the cheap today. And Jacoby Brissett has had top 15 quarterback weeks in 5 of his last 6, I'm almost positive. Just has been putting up pretty consistent numbers. And at 5,400, you can get more elite players in your lineup if you're paying that low price. If you're saving $2,000 by going from Brady to Brissett and the difference is only 6 points, the difference is going to be different when you funnel that value into another receiver. So, granted, these are cheaper options, make it tough sometimes, but these are guys that I think are okay to build around. Russell Wilson, not pictured. Tom Brady, not pictured. Not a Wentz guy today. Not an Alex Smith guy today. Not a Goff guy today. It's just guys I don't like. Remember, we're talking about a finite. We want blow-ups. We want shootouts. We want 5 tutties. We don't want 2 tutty. We want 5 tutty. I'm trying to get us 5 tutty. Okay. Let's hang. Let's bang the theme song. I'm nervous about this lineup because I don't want to get shut out of the contest. But my entry is saved. Let's catch up with the chat a little bit. Questioning Fitzgerald versus Jacksonville. Also have on my bench Marquise Lee and Robbie Anderson. What's your opinion? So you have to start Larry Fitzgerald because he's Blaine Gabbert's numero uno. You're just not allowed to feel good about it. There's a trade-off there, right? So you can start it. You're just not allowed to feel good about it. So I think it's a guy that you got to go with. He's been a league winner so far this year. So it's tough. Start Tevin Coleman, absolutely. So you're right, Adams. If you Hall of Famer Larry Fitzgerald, you definitely start him, especially over Marquise Lee and Robbie Anderson. If the other option was Julio, we'd be having a different conversation, but it's not. Taylor, Alex Smith, Tyrod Taylor, Alex Smith. You know what? Like, Alex Smith is expensive. That's why I don't like him. He could have a decent fantasy game, but Oh, man. I just can't help but feel like Tyrod Taylor is in for another blowout performance where he is getting it done in the fourth quarter, because if the Chiefs are in prevent 4-man rush, he's going to run and run and run. Fuck. It's a family show. Stop cursing. It makes me nervous, obviously, but they're both going to have solid games because both of their defenses tend to be a little bit more lax. I honestly, if we had to cut tax Jonathan Gonzalez, give me Alex Smith, because I know for a fact the Bills defense is terrible. The Chiefs defense has been lenient, but not terrible. I know for a fact the Bills defense is terrible. And that's why I'm going to save in my notes of Sunday predictions Alex Smith over Tyrod Taylor. Pimpin' ain't easy. Pimpin' ain't easy. Ramsey is not out, Andrew Adams. Fake news. Jalen Ramsey is in today, and I'm almost positive Charles Clay is out. Let me just scroll through my updates. Oh, Charles Clay's active. Hey, sup? We do that sometimes. That's fine. I'm thinking about throwing this week's game to push a strong player out of the playoffs. John, honestly, it's the most savage thing you could do, but if your league's going to welcome you back next year, honestly, John, my strategy there would be, and then Adams, I got your quarterback question. My strategy there, John, would be to just play your weakest lineup. I just talked to a DFS guy, and he loves Seattle too. I think there's going to be a lot of Seattle stack, and the more I read about that, the more I get nervous, because Russell Wilson's been so good, Jimmy Graham's been so good, McKissick is such a good value that it's making me lean like Brady Cooks, because I know that there's going to be a lot of chalk on Seattle. The last time they played, I have a cut in my straw. I can't get any coffee. I got to find the cut and pinch it. The last time they played, the Seattle did not score that much. Like, you say that, Christian, but he didn't in the first matchup. But Seattle always starts slow. I don't know. Let's look this up real quick. These teams played in week 7. The Seahawks won 20-3. Let's get ourselves a box score here. Oh, that's from 2013. Like, everyone's saying Seahawks, but I'm like, I'm almost positive that the Seahawks had a huge lame duck last week. Yes, I agree. I agree that Russell Wilson is a second half of the season player. But I also think that the Niners at home could play tough, and that's just conjecture, honestly, because we don't know that. We don't know that, and the Niners defense has gotten dramatically worse since then. Like, dramatically worse since then. But now I'm going, okay, everybody and their DFS playing mother has a Seahawks stack. So maybe it's just a thing where we just veer in a different direction to kind of upend the system. And now I'm doing an overthink. You're right. Nope. Now I'm doing an overthink. It happens pretty regularly. Like, dude, my lineup for Thanksgiving was so stacked. I had Murray, Rudolph, Thielen, Jamison Crowder. I swapped almost every single one of them Thursday morning. Just feeling myself way too hard. Okay, we are looking at the box score of, this season? I was looking at the wrong year. This game was 12-9 week 2. Just look at this, guys. 12-9, right? The Seahawks don't score a touchdown. Paul Richardson scored a touchdown with 7 minutes left, right? This was in Seattle. Vikings were a 13.5-point favorite. It was windy, but not crazy windy. On turf. Brian Hoyer, 99 yards passing, a pick and 2 sacks. So it wasn't the 49ers passing the ball. It was the 49ers running the ball. Carlos Hyde had 15 carries for 124 yards. My biggest thing is, okay, so the Seahawks did have Sheldon Richardson that day. Might have been one of his first games, but I feel like Sheldon Richardson has had a huge impact on that defense. Let's see how many snaps he got. 80% of defensive snaps. It's really crazy. Oh, hiccups, man. This is killer. Oh, my God. Play the music, and I'm going to chug water. Gotta just drink it off, man. Yo. Trying to shake him off. I told you someone stopped me in the supermarket and was like, drink a lot of water. Thank you for that, Scott. That was awesome. The hiccups didn't go away. You ever standing with someone in the supermarket and you don't know when to walk away? I plant my feet because I got nowhere to be. My buddy's got like a sandwich in one hand. He's talking to me about the show, and you could tell that he's trying to get away. Trying to be like, well, see ya. Well, see ya. I'm like, yo, whatever. You want to talk about something else? I got nowhere to be. I got Sunday morning appointments. That's all I got, baby, baby. It was all a dream. Okay. Okay, Adad. Let's get super serious and try to build this lineup. Oh my God, hiccups. Come on, man. Only 56 minutes. Toughen up. I want to do a market update too, but I don't think I can. I'm starting to get a little nervous, guys. I'm not going to lie. Millionaire Maker has me nervous. I'm shook. But I got my players that I like. That's the thing. I feel like I have a list of guys that I like. Oh, man. You should come to mine. Ball all day. Gonna get home at 1:20. Done. Done and done. Done and done. I'll see you there, bro. Okay. Let's do this. I need to pace. I need to pace. I need to pace. I'm opening up Millionaire Maker. We are doing this, boys. Checkdown Sunday, week 12. We're winning excessive amounts of money. We're changing lives. We're going to have a platinum set next week, okay? Rico Sabrosa. Ain't no baby at fucking Maine. I'm sorry, it's a family show. Palms are sweaty. Oh, Christian, you don't even know about these palms. Can you see it? Wait, can you actually see it? Can you see the moisture? Can you see the moisture? Why do you think I'm going to check my email on this show, Adams? Okay. Millionaire special, let's go. I got my entry. We're going to edit. Oh my God. Dude, Christian, I'm an all-time sweater, dude. I don't go to bars. I don't go to clubs. I work out with a hoodie. I'm not checking my Snapchat for you, Tanner, especially with this up on the screen. Are you kidding me? I'm going to check your Snapchat while... Okay. So, I'm going to put in whoever I like, and then we're going to adjust it later, okay? I like Tom Brady, right? I like the Brandon Cook stack, right? I like Mohamed Sanu. I like T.Y. Hilton. I like that. I like Mohamed Sanu. I also like Cooper Kupp, but I think I like these guys more. I like JD Kisya. This is starting to make me nervous as we actually put it together. McKissick, $3,700. This guy's going to be in every single lineup. $3,700 for McKissick. Let's see if we can't go cheap on a tight end, honestly. I love Jimmy Graham, but let's see if we can't go cheap. Jared Cook, not too shabby. That's why y'all went Safari and Jenkins. Tyler Kroft is a really spicy play, man. Give me Kroft. I like Kroft. The Bears, the Browns are legendarily bad to tight ends, single high safety. Kroft today. The juices, baby. What's going on, juices? I love it. I love where your head's at. I need a stud running back. Give me Dion Lewis in a flex. Right? Give me a pass catching back up in here. Oh my goodness, I'm starting to get... Oh, Tevin Coleman, that's the running back I wanted. Okay. Oh my God, I'm starting to schwitz. I love Cooper Kupp too, god damn. Dion Lewis, let's get Coleman in and then see what happens, because I like Coleman way more. 6,500 is always a lot. Now we have a defense and a running back, 4,600. It's not all about kid fiddling. Thank you. Okay, 51 minutes. Okay, we need a cheap defense here. Fuck, man, the Raiders is staring me in the face. Paxton Lynch is so bad. Paxton Lynch, Khalil Mack. Let me just look at the Raiders. The Raiders fantasy points 0, 3, 1, -1, 0, 4, 0, 5, 5, 9, 2. Against bad offenses, though. Better at home. I'm seeing better at home. 4 against the Chargers at home. 0. No way. Titans versus Indy. No way. Man, Raiders be getting sacks, though. I don't want to take a top tier defenses. Defenses always struggle against a game plan they're not familiar with. But it's Paxton Lynch, Adams. They can't actually do anything. What's first of all, Bill Musgrave, not a legendary OC by any stretch of the imagination. Christian, I'm not picking them on the secondary though. I'm picking them off of Khalil Mack's scoop score. Like, Paxton Lynch is really bad at football. That's what I'm saying. It's a new OC and Paxton Lynch. This is a Memphis quarterback who has been on IR all season because he couldn't throw deep balls. He hasn't been able to throw deep balls in like a month. So he's had like 2 weeks max where he's been able to throw deep balls. Adams, I know, but the Raiders also have a new DC. So it's new OC versus new DC. In Oakland, hostile environment, Paxton fucking Lynch, all right? I don't think I'm gonna do this. I'm just staring at this like it's like the Chargers defense last week where everyone's like, oh, Jaguars. You gotta take the Jaguars against Cleveland, and then the Chargers against Peterman is staring me in the face, man. You think I'm gonna see Simeon? I think you gotta give Lynch a full run though, right? It just seems like a situation where if there was ever going to be value, if the Raiders defense was ever going to have value, it would be absolutely right now when I'm trying to maximize profit and squeeze in one more player. I can't believe the Seahawks are as high as they are. But the juices, if he'll have 3 picks by half and Simeon is the next guy up for a half, why am I not playing Raiders right now? That's exactly what I want. If I'll see Elway for the game is out, you guys talked me off a ledge and are now pushing me off said ledge. You understand that, right? Like you're pulling me in both directions. You're doing that thing I do where I give both sides to an argument and don't really answer a fantasy question, pop filter. He's a great DC for the Chargers and they cut him. He loves to blitz. Are you kidding me? I get Paxton Lynch against a blitz-happy D. I'm doing it. I'm a fantasy expert. You understand? This is my show, and now you can tell everybody that I was right, okay? Paxton Lynch is a bum. Broncos defense. Picked the wrong one. Listen, I feel good about that. Now I have 6,200 for a stud back. And I can't afford one. Okay, so I 100% want Shady or Kamara. I have to save some money. I'm making my show. By the way, Adams, I showed that to somebody last night. They were talking about stand-up, and I was like, show that to somebody. And I was like, is it weird if my friends quote this film school project? Oh, Joe, welcome to the show. Joey, what you're looking at right now is the DraftKings Millionaire Special, $75 entry fee. First prize is $1 million. So we are working on the perfect lineup right now to try to win ourselves $1 million. People have been sending me their lineups. We've been collaborating all throughout the show. Little less season-long fantasy talk today. It's all DFS. That's all I'm saying. $75 to win a milli. This is not Powerball. This is not shot in the dark lightning bolt struck by lightning twice on a day. This is real knowledge getting put to work, all right? So we are moving, all right? I just made a very controversial decision. I want to go with Oakland Raiders defense as my defense, new defensive coordinator, and a rookie quarterback. Ooh, open up the floodgates. Yeah, no, I mean, it was Hater's birthday last week. I did the song, but when I'm texting this person and they're like, yeah, this movie's actually pretty good. And I'm just like, you're in a dream right now. That's badass. It's like, that's like the best quote of any movie I've ever seen, dude. You're in a dream right now. That's badass. And then they were like, hey, you're a pretty good rapper too. And that's all the validation I need on the planet. Come on now. Okay, here's where we are with 45 minutes left to go, boys. I need one of these big-time running backs. I need to slim down a little bit on price. So I think if I take out T.Y. Hilton and put in Cooper Kupp, I'm going to save $1,700. I'm starting to think the Brady Cook stack is too... Dude, nobody gets it. I'm a millionaire. I'm a young money millionaire. Rougher than Nigerian. Hair my criteria compared to your career. This isn't fair. I'm a venereal disease. I got menstrual. I bleed. The pen ending and the sec... shit, cause I don't write shit, cause I ain't got time. And my seconds, minutes, hours go to the almighty dollar. Something with that chopper. Yo, we are going for it. I never go for numbers like this today. Go with Ryan Sanu instead. Ooh, the juices. You are grabbing the wheel, and I love it. But I don't know because I have Tevin Coleman already. Like, I love Tevin Coleman this week. I think they're really going to grind the second half of that game. Hey, Rick, how's it going? First time, long time. What's going on, Armel? You're late to the show. We're trying to win $1 million. This is the Millionaire Special. 1 million to first. You see it up there? You see it up there? 1 million to first. Oh, drop Coleman, go Dion Lewis, and save money for that stud back. Well, but Coleman is a stud. Coleman's a stud. Coleman and McKissick are studs. Dude, Christian, you are nailing this right now. I feel great about this defense. I felt great about it for a couple of days. If I need a cheap defense, I'm going to bang on a rookie quarterback. First start of the season, on the road, division rival. Are you out of your mind? That place is going to be so loud. Like, let's go. Greg Olsen to play about 30 plays today. That's a lie. That's a lie. He'll get more. So right now, I can go cheap on receiver, cheaper on quarterback. I'm really not feeling Brandon Cooks, man. It's such a fucking boomer bust play. It's a family show. If I go cheaper on quarterback, if I go Ty God Taylor, I have so much more money to spend. Oh, man. This is rough. Corey Davis or Robbie Anderson flex, half PPR. I like Corey Davis, big target, no Rashad Matthews. Colts secondary, not that great. Robbie Anderson is your definitely ceiling. Rashad Matthews inactive. Why not Mariota? Because he's only got 5 touchdowns this year, and they're literally all off of play action. He's not a do-it-on-your-own quarterback, and that shit has been bothering me. And Tyrod Taylor runs more. Tyrod Taylor is a better quarterback than Mariota in almost every aspect of the game. Devontae Adams or Mike Thomas standard. Albine, what's going on, Albine? We're working on our $1 million lineup, baby. 43 minutes to go. I like Mike Thomas. Just maybe the best basement receiver in fantasy this year. Okay, T.Y. Hilton. Let's take him out. Hypothetically. Baldwin is more expensive. Cooper Kupp. I like Cooper Kupp. Now we have 10 grand to spend. Now I can get Shady or Kamara. I love Kamara, PPR monster. And I got an extra 1900 in my flex. Kind of crazy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Now I have a real perfect lineup here. Stills has to be cheap. You're right. Kenny Stills has to be cheap. I just don't trust it. I know Kenny Stills is good. I just like the value I have. You think I should cut Cooks? I just think if Brady and Cooks hook up, it's going to be a monster game. Like, Cooks has seen, is targets on here? Is targets a stat? Targets. It's counting up. So this is week 11. So look at the top. 6 for 149 and a tote, 6 for 74. Those are his 2 highest target production games of the season, and it's since Hogan's been out off the bye. That's what I'm saying. Cooks can go nuts, but so could anybody else. Tyreek Hill, I don't know, because Tyreek Hill's home splits aren't as good as Tyreek Hill's road splits. So Tyreek Hill's at home. I don't like him as much. I don't like the way that Alex Smith has been running that offense. Alex Smith has been playing like scared Alex Smith. I know he never has more than 6 catches. I'm looking at the same thing you have, but I'm also looking at 11 targets in a blowout, and I'm looking at 9 targets in a game that was over at the half. I know. So let's get Brady out of here. Huh. But then what do we do with a top receiver if we don't like Cooks? Too risky for that millie, bruh. Too risky for that. I know Brandon Cooks has been a perfect candidate. He's been, I think last week he was a fantasy perfect guy, and then against the Saints he was a fantasy perfect guy. Both indoors. Or no, that was Mexico. Fuck. If I take out Brady and Cooper Kupp, what can I do? Okay, so Tevin Coleman, Raiders D, locked. Sanu, locked. Is McKissick a lock? I think it is. I'm getting alerts from heavy.com. Sanu, Kupp, and Cooks just doesn't feel like a winner as we move into 40 minutes left to this Millionaire Maker. There's only 5 people left. By the way, if you see the top, there's only 5 more people that can enter this, and then it's full in the next 38 minutes. They got all 60,000 seats full for the Millie Maker. Okay, McKissick, I like. He's not going anywhere. Kamara is so fucking expensive, pardon my language, but he's also been a top 2 back like all of the years. And when the Saints get down, which they could, Kamara becomes the guy. We know that Sean Payton has a grudge against Mark Ingram. So if we had to choose one, we want Kamara over Ingram, and we're willing to pay. If I went cheap on Brady, I could take out McKissick and fucking go Shady McCoy. Should I go Tyrod Taylor, Shady McCoy? Family show. It's a family show. I'm getting so heated right now. My ice pack is warm. That's how I was keeping myself not svitzy. Poznak, what is up? The Jets have actually done decent against pass-catching running backs. And we're already got great value running back with McKissick. Like, we're crushing the value game there. Zach, if you haven't checked, this is the Millionaire Maker. We are going for $1 million on this lineup, so we have to get it right, and we chop it up. I don't want to put this money in the hands of Tyrod Taylor. That's right. Especially the way the Chiefs defense has been on a points per game level. But if we have to save money with Brady. I hate looking at the quarterbacks. Honestly, I hate looking at the quarterbacks. Jacoby Brissett is so cheap. I'm not looking to save money on Kamara. I like that I'm spending the money on Kamara because I honestly think Kamara could be an animal. Rivers played on Thursday, my guy. Rivers had a great game. We're trying to win a milli, dog. We're locked in. We got less than a half hour. We're trying to win a milli, dog. I feel like no other segment is as important as me trying to win $1 million. See, Zach Adams, I love Russ, but everyone else I talk to, fucking family show, everyone also loves Russ. Russ on the road in San Fran, when the last time they played them, it was a 12-9 game. Everyone loves that team. I don't get it. That's the team that everybody loves. I don't get it. Goff. Saints won't have their top 2 CBs. If I had a nickel every time I see Saints won't have their top 2 CBs. Saints won't have their top 2 CBs. Robert Woods was a difference maker for them, man. Do I go Goff at home? I don't think that's that good. The bleep guy's working overtime. He's making his money's worth. God, these low-end quarterbacks, the value is so good. No Wentz this week. Wentz, Bears defense, very, very good. It's basically down to Brady, Russ, Breeze, Goff, Smith, I don't really like, Matt Ryan, Tyrod, or Brissett. Jeez, I'm crow. This is tough. We love it. Time and a half, baby. How expensive is Cam? Against the Jets defense, which I think is a pretty good defense, he's 66. Cam is going to have a better week than everyone but Brady. What did Cam do last week? Monday night, #1 quarterback of the week. Cam is a good choice, man. Nobody's talking about Cam. I think I am. I think I am trying to get a better QB with Cam, with my wide receiver. I think I'm trying to upgrade wide receiver. Cam, game log, thumb, full participant in practice, no injury designation. Cam, last 3 weeks against bad defenses, 2 bad games and a good game. He played 2 good defenses. Oh, they're coming off a bye, too. Dalton threw 3 touchdowns, but I think the Browns defense is better than people give credit. I'm so not pick on the Browns guy this year. I have not been. So the Dolphins defense is ass. So looking at Cam Newton's game log, it only makes me want to play Brady more. He gets Olsen back, but on the road, coming off the bye, I do think there's a rhythm thing coming off the bye. Primetime, Cam gets a primetime boost. Cam gets a bad defense boost. Coming off a bye, I just feel like that's not Cam's zone. Let me see what my buddy Evan Silva says about Cam Newton. We're running out of time to just be like still doing research. All right, I'm going to show you guys what I like to do. This is Evan Silva's matchup column every week, and I read it. I guess we'll just put it. That helps. Okay. Cam Newton returns with top 10 fantasy results, 5 his last 7. Jets defense, top 12 finishes to 7-20. Highly vulnerable to dual threat passers, yielding the 3rd most rushing yards to Cam's position. Newton's outlook is enhanced by the return of Greg Olsen. Jets are a pass funnel defense, 22nd against the run. This game sets up poorly for J. Stu, much better for McCaffrey. Actually, yeah, it does look like a good Cam. Moore's Claiborne, hard to take seriously at this point. Funch's outlook. Gangrene, 10th most catches, 5th most touchdowns to wideouts. Funch's solid wide receiver 2 play. I think I just talked myself into Cam Newton, which I love because I love Cam Newton, but god damn is he frustrating. Oh, you guys like the... Yeah, juices. It gets really sketchy when I put my screen up too. You're in a dream. That's badass. Cam Newton, 2-4 career off bye weeks. And there it goes. There's the nugget that I need to just mess with everything in my head. All it takes is nuggets on nuggets on nuggets. And I am so useless, my guy. Let's say we go with Cam. That's matchup dependent, okay? We now have $1,100 to spend on a running wide receiver. God, I love my wide receivers. I love my running backs, actually. I don't love my wide receivers. I love Sanu. Take Cooks out, right? And we can go Julio. I love that. Or Baldwin. I love that. 2 of 6 targets for 40 yards. It's unbelievable. He hasn't had a blow-up game in a couple weeks. 6-6, 12-10-12. So back-to-back low-target games on top of some other low-target games. Not a huge fan of Doug Baldwin. Hey, man, do I trust Olsen this week or should I go with Croft, Hooper, Lewis, or ASJ? Albine, I like Croft this week. As you can tell, he's in my lineup. But give me the Funches stack. Let's fucking YOLO ball. I don't know what I'm doing. Take a deep breath. All right, we're going to pace. Baldwin, I'm not taking him. I wouldn't trust Ron Rivera against the Jets. Ron Rivera is the defensive coach. The Jets pass funnel with a bad corner. I just like the way that plays out. I feel like Cam likes New York and likes to shine the way that LeBron plays well in the Garden. Coming off the bye, he's rested. Injuries have been a problem for him. I'm worried about his rhythm, but I think the way he dumps off and the way the check down game will be strong to McCaffrey, the way I'm reading this. 13th in run DOA, but holding 22nd against the pass, the Jets DVOA. I would rather go with Croft out of those tight ends. Check Mariota. I like Mariota. I know you like Mariota. I don't like Mariota. He's so much cheaper, though. I just don't see Mariota having a 3-tutty game. 4 picks in a blowout against the Steelers. Hasn't put up 20 fantasy points this year except the blowout. Hasn't completed... Look at these touchdown numbers. Are just gross. 4 touchdowns last 3 games. 1 blowout. I hate it. I honestly hate him. Against Indy, he can shine. First game against Indy this year, he had 306 yards, 1-1, only 18.2 fantasy points. I'm not in this for 18 fantasy points. I'm in this for 30 fantasy points and $1 million. That's why I want Cam. I want QB number 1 upside. Mariota doesn't give me QB number 1 upside. Hey, Daddy, would you start Deshaun Jackson or Paul Richardson this week? Wow, real buttery biscuits. I love your name. Deshaun Jackson, always a good solid upside. He's had a couple of very consistent weeks. Let me get back to main screen. This has actually been kind of confusing for people. Adams, very true thought. I would rather have Deshaun Jackson. Paul Richardson has been splitting time in the slot with Tyler Lockett. He has been beating Tyler Lockett in that role, but Deshaun Jackson's role is all his own. He's got Fitzmagic. He's got a high-scoring slate. Game script looks like he could be making moves, and I like that money move. All right. I need to pace. We have 30 minutes. I got to get this flipping lineup in. I want $1 million, okay? I want $1 million, and I want to get these receivers right. I want to get this quarterback right. I think we're locked into Cam Newton based off Monday night, trash defense. He's going to get 3 touchdowns. They don't run the ball also, which is another big thing. The other big thing with Cam Newton is Cam Newton is your goal line back. We love that. Funchess or Lockett. Give me Funchess over Lockett. And I'm going to pace. I'm going to play the theme song because I just need to move my legs and get some blood flow going. I might do 10 push-ups real quick. I might just bang them out, honestly. This is the biggest life decision I'll ever make ever. My back cracked right at the end. Okay, so right before I sat down, my back cracked, and I think that it released some really valuable knowledge. And what it released in my knowledge is that I'm sticking with Cooper Kupp. I'm sticking with Cooper Kupp because he's got high usage, he's got high red zone targets, and everyone keeps telling me, you know, Saints are out 2 corners, Saints are out 2 corners, Saints are out 2 corners. That's only going to make Cooper Kupp better. That's not necessarily Sammy Watkins bop. That's a Cooper Kupp boom. Sheree, where'd she go? Start Mariota? She said it? Salary said what's up. Mariota will get off. No Vontae Davis. I want Mariota to have a nice game. I'm not doing that. I'm not starting Mariota. It's just not happening. I want you to fill my mentions. If Mariota throws 3 totes, I want you to bother me. I want you to destroy me. I don't think it's going to happen. I want Corey Davis to have the game of his life. Like, that's what I want. Dude, I broke my straw so savagely. Look at the size of the hole in this straw. Like, this is unusable. I put my whole thumb over it. And I got my whole thumb over it, and I still can't get any coffee out of this. Oh, there's another one. It's double-sided like a good notebook. Suhood is just here to recruit people to play COD. He does not actually like the show. I'm on to you, Suhu. I'm fucking on you. It's a family show. I'm sorry. I gotta stop doing that, man. It was funny the first couple times. Now it's like, seriously? That worked. That actually worked. I'm running a 4-3 pinch on my coffee. Sorry. We're moving here. I got to get a Funchess or Sanu question. Schultz, ideally get them both in there if you can. I like Sanu. Slot corners have done very well against Tampa. Funchess, though, also should have a good game. Number 1 receiver. Oh, my God. We got to finish this lineup. We got 25 minutes, boys. Paxton, Dolphins and Jets against the spread. We like the I don't like either of them. You just texted me. I like McCown over Carr. I think Derek Carr's broken. Paxton, Savage, or Hundley. That's just horrendous. I would like to never answer your question, but if you're talking second quarterback in a 2-quarterback league, probably Carr or McCown, leaning Carr because I just know your league. AJ Green, you never bench him. That's it, Christian. You just got to deal with it. You never bench him. John, Cup versus Sanu, obviously a super, super tough one. I like both. I'm putting both in my Millie Maker. We just talked about it. Flick, if I had to choose one, I would probably take Sanu, better quarterback, and they can't, I just don't like that. Michael Thomas locked in, so that's why it's Sanu or Funches. Deion Lewis is in the flex. Yeah, that's fine. Look at that, Deshaun Watson. How about it? The more I talk about Sanu Cup, the more I think I'm banking on 2 second wide receivers instead of going after top receiver. No, I'm not going to go after AJ Green because I don't like it. I know what you're saying because the money's there, but I don't like it. Frick, man. This is getting tough. I can take whoever I want. Man, I'm getting crushed here. I need quarterback help. Sixo. What's going on, boss? Sixo. Andy Dalton, Tyrod, or Alex Smith? Tough question. We've talked about this actually a lot today because we're working on our DraftKings Millionaire Maker lineup. Sixo. Check this out. We are trying to build a $1 million lineup. Your boy is absolutely struggling with his picks right now. 4 targets for 23 yards in his last game, T.Y. Hilton. Like, he is just a killer when he's not doing it. But the Titans just gave up 3 touchdowns to Antonio Brown. The Titans just got rinsed by Antonio Brown. If I'm smart and I'm playing matchups, I have to get T.Y. Hilton in there. I have to. 6-0, it's really just about how you feel about the Chiefs defense because I think Tyrod Taylor is a great producer, especially in the mobile game. Alex Smith has not looked good for me the last 6 weeks, so I'm leaning Tyrod, but they're playing each other. I'd hate for you to think you made the wrong decision. Andy Dalton threw 3 totes against the Broncos last week. I still hate the Bengals in all shapes and form. I think they're just waiting for you to start them so they can literally just screw you over so hard. How do I feel about Jamal Lewis this week? Would I start him over Deion Lewis? Not a chance. I think the Steelers have the top 3 run defense. I think they're actually second in the league, and I would not be taking any workhorse backs, especially in a negative game script. If I'm starting a running back, I want his team to win in a blowout because I want him to get second half touches. Deion Lewis. Cam, Kamara, McKissick, Hilton, Cooper Kupp, Sanu, Tyler Kroft, Tevin Coleman, Raiders defense, and now we have $1,500 to spend. Fudge, man. This is insane. I never had this much money in my life. That's what I'm going to say when I win this Millie Maker. So if I don't have to start McKissick, I can get all the way up to Deion Lewis. Would you guys do Deion Lewis over McKissick? I don't know if I would. I'm freaking out. You bounce Sanu. Oh, man. I need Tevin Coleman in my lineup. Tampa has allowed the 4th most TD catches to wide receivers. Sanu got slot. Jarvis Landry had a good game. Sanu 65 plus yards and or a touchdown in 6 of his last 8. Lewis over McKissick, but I think McKissick could have a great game. He only had 12 touches, though. He ran 42 routes, but he only had 12 touches. But I think if they're against it's against the Niners. We got to get McKissick in there. We got to get McKissick in there, man. So Sanu, definitely Tevin Coleman, definitely McKissick. He's so cheap, right? Against the 9, they don't have any other running backs, though. I don't understand. I don't understand how they use him. I know I'm not in this for 18 points. I'm in this for 30, but I don't think Dion Lewis is a 30-point guy either. Let's check Dion Lewis's numbers. Oh, man. 9. Burkhead had 9. Lewis 14. James White 5 last week. All right, I'm taking Dion Lewis. You guys are right. You guys are right. You guys are right. Okay, I now have $400. Yo, I'm starting to really love this lineup, though. It's going to hinge on T.Y. Hilton, right? No, I know you don't know about Hilton, but Christian, it's like T.Y. Hilton is a smash spot. Only 1 catch for 19 yards on 4 targets last game against the Titans, but against the Texans, 5 for 175. Against the Niners, 7 for 177. Against the Browns, 7 for 153. And the Titans just gave up 3 touchdowns to Antonio Brown on the road. And now they're on the road in a dome. T.Y. Hilton at home. Or indoors. The Houston game was indoors. The San Fran game was at home. The Cleveland game was at home. The Arizona game was at Patrick Peterson, 4 for 49. Dude, this is why we do the research, though. Like, we do the research for guys like Hilton. Like, you guys are shitting on this, but the research kind of leans Hilton this way. What does my research say? A blow-up spot against the Titans, who have allowed the NFL's 4th most fantasy points to wide receivers. Antonio Brown, 10 for 144 and 3 touchdowns. A.J. Green, 5 for 115 and a touchdown. Brandon LaFell, 2 weeks ago, 6 for $95 and a touchdown. League high 15 touchdown catches to wideouts. Jacoby Brissett is in. That was with Brown, but you also have Andy Dalton throwing up. You're making Brandon LaFell look good. What does that $400 bump off either Sanu or Hilton get you? Okay, so let's go to Sanu, right? You're right. $400, I can get Larry Fitzgerald, Crabtree, Amari, Aguilar. I hate all those guys. We have 16 minutes. So I love Newton, love Kamara, love Lewis, love Hilton, not crazy about Kupp, not crazy about Sanu, over Tyler Kroft, love Tevin Coleman, love Raiders defense, especially with the value there. If we go to Kroft, we have 4,300 now. We can get ASJ or Charles Clay is a really interesting proposition. Charles Clay is expected and active, missed 3 games, struggled since returning, 5 balls for 40 yards in the past 2 games, needs to reconnect with Tyrod. Well, obviously he didn't, his first game back, he had 2 for 13 warming up, and that he had an end zone target though, I do remember that. And with Peterman, 3 for 27, an empty first half. Let's just put Kroft back in there. Remember, Browns to tight ends, that single high safety. And now we take the money off Kupp, and we can get, it's the same group of guys. We looked at the same group of guys. Sanu and Cooper Kupp are $200 apart. You're pulling from elite. Guys, like, you're talking about my 1800s, but I go Kroft over Clay. Healthy and targets, not Jeremy Maclin. Get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to win $1 million. This lineup looks super spicy. If I take out Kamara, do I get Shady? Nope, I'm still short. But I get Kareem Hunt. That's pretty spice. Who's my other running back? Dion Lewis. Who can I get for 52? DeMarco? No. Everywhere I go to upgrade, I like that. Clay is Taylor's go-to guy, but he was slow last week. He's been slow, man. He's been slow, and he's probably end zone dependent. And the Chiefs are pretty good against the tight ends. Let me get a Charles Clay, 60% of snaps, 54% of snaps since returning. 3 and 4 targets since returning. Who else could you take around Hilton priced? I mean, it's going to be good, obviously. We can still take Cooks. If we took Cooks, it would max out our lineup, right? So we would spend every single dollar we had and we would upgrade. We'd have Brandon Cooks over T.Y. Hilton, which is an awesome play. It's just a different awesome play. They're just different. They're the same and they're different. Guys, T.Y. Hilton, it's the worst passing defense in football. You're not doing this. Thank you, Budo. Thank you. I don't know why I'm fighting this. I obviously I'm not going to know 100%, but the numbers, oh my God, the numbers. T.Y. Hilton indoors. T.Y. Hilton against the worst secondary in football. T.Y. Hilton, healthy Jacoby Brissett, not in concussion protocol. He doesn't have a hurt shoulder. He was in concussion protocol. He's fine. Titans defense is garbage. T.Y. Hilton just needs one. He just needs one and he's going to smash. I swear to God. I honestly can't see myself changing anything on this lineup right now. I fucking love it. I love it. I'm submitting. Let's win $1 million, boys. I'm so queefed right now. Let me check my mini entry just to see anything I hate. Okay, so my mini entry, I have Kamara and Shady, and then I went cheap everywhere else. I got Zay Jones, I got Kupp and Sanu, I got Jimmy Graham, I went McKissick, and I also got Raiders D in this one, and I spent every single dollar that I had, but I'm not the most crazy about some of these picks. I love McKissick and Raiders D because I get the value there, but if I went cheaper at quarterback, and I just did just give me Tyrod. I need an angry Tyrod Taylor. This is angry Tyrod Taylor, right? Hey, Stafford's back. What's going on, baby? Tyrod Taylor, Kamara, Shady, Zay Jones, Cooper Kupp, Sanu. See, now I can get rid of Kupp and Sanu and really bang on one. So get out of here, Sanu, because I don't like your red zone targets. And I can get Alshon Jeffrey revenge game. Devin Funchess, great matchup. Danny Amendola, great matchup. Robbie Anderson, great matchup. Alshon's the number one dude. Give me Alshon. And I'm still spending my last dollar. I love that. I think I totally just upgraded this lineup. Sanu. Beautiful, baby. Beautiful, baby. Wow, we are really, really getting after it today. Really, really getting after it today. Guys, I have never been more excited at the end of a show. We are 10 minutes from the end of a show, and we have entered a contest with the chances of winning $1 million. Matt, our running backs are Dion Lewis, Tevin Coleman, and Alvin Kamara. I'm so excited about that stack. I'm so excited. I just need a quiet Mark Ingram game. You would have kept Sanu, obviously, because you don't know what you're talking about. You're going for high basement, and that's okay. Your boy wants ceilings. I don't want to get fourth in the Millie Maker. I want to get first in the Millie Maker. I want a perfect lineup. I want to cram my fantasy knowledge into a 9-player lineup and turn it into a life-changing amount of money. Oh, Armel, thank you. Go on, City. Go on, City. Go on, City. Who'd you add for Sanu? Fuck. Stop. Don't do that to me. We didn't change it. We didn't change it. Should I change it? I don't think I should change it. I can't get much better. I don't know how I can change it. Jeffrey's expensive. Jeffrey's $2,000 more. I only have $400 to spend, guys. That's what I'm saying. These guys get me to reopen my lineup after I talk about how much I love it. Sanu is driving me crazy. What's going on, Pressman? Dude, I got so much internal conflict right now. If you don't know, guys, what we're doing, if you're just joining the show, Foo, Presser, what's going on, guys? Thanks for popping in. This is normally when we do our live draft on the draft app, but today is the Millionaire Special on DraftKings. It's a $75 contest. First prize is $1 million. We entered it, and now we're second guessing in the last 10 minutes, all right? So here we go. This is our lineup. Cam, Kamara, Lewis, Hilton, Kupp, Sanu, Croft, Coleman, Raiders D, new coordinator against a Paxton Lynch on the road first start of the season. I feel it. Listen, I don't know how I'm going to get blow-up spots out of Sanu and Kupp. I honestly don't know. But I know that Sanu catches a ton of passes, and the Buccaneers are bad in the slot. Kenny Stills destroyed them, right? I know the Saints are down two red zone corners, and Cooper Kupp leads the NFL in targets, wide receiver targets inside the red zone, okay? I'm trying to get tutties. T.Y. Hilton, number one receiver, worst pass defense in football. Cam Newton, best dual threat quarterback against the worst dual threat defense. Kamara, PPR stud against a team that struggles with PPR. Let me just check on Kamara before I start Kamara. Kamara's probably the person I am the least fan of, but acknowledge his stud potential. And he's just worth so much money. Okay. The Rams don't have a good run defense. They are better against the pass. People know that. Kamara out-snapped Ingram in the comeback win, but equaled him in touches. Right? When New Orleans has the lead, Ingram is the guy, right? Like, if they're going back and forth, then it's got to be Kamara, right? Kamara is second on the team in targets. Man, that's really tough, man. What do you guys think about Kamara? Cincinnati or Carolina defense, Matthew Stafford. Give me Cincinnati because Deshaun Kaiser's a turnover machine. I keep thinking I have so much time, the juices, because my phone is glitching, and it says the time's 9:41 a.m. We're flipping 7 minutes to kickoff, boys. Like, I'm, like, shaking in my little space boots. Like, you don't even know. Man, I just cannot get over these lineups. Okay. Let it be, Mr. McCartney. 0.5, PPR, pick 2, Stills, Parker, Goodwin, and Zay Jones. Zay Jones and Stills, totally feeling it. Cincinnati over Carolina defense. Carolina has a good defense, but not a points scoring defense. Those are two very important things. Thank you, Matt. I will be tweeting about it. Let's just let it be, dude. You want to see some shit? This is it. This is the phone. Right? Back to the full screen. Gone. Not looking at it. It's away until 1 p.m., baby. Let's go. I got to check my lineup. I gotta check it in Yahoo. I gotta check lineups, guys. I gotta check lineups. We're finishing the show, and it's a family show. Foo had a question. Demaryius Thomas or Devontae Adams? Sorry, man. I kind of ignored you. Give me Devontae Adams. Okay, so here's the thing. I like both of those guys. It's a bad matchup for Devontae Adams. Baltimore, number one pass defense. Demaryius Thomas is a good matchup against the Raiders, but his quarterback is Paxton Lynch. It is the worst thing that's ever happened to him. Brady, Burkhead, McKissick, Hilton, Funchess, Watkins, Kamara or Ingram, Delaney Walker, Eagles with Kamara or Carolina with Ingram. I'm on Kamara, so I'm going to tell you Kamara, right? I'm on Kamara, so I'm going to tell you Kamara. You're picking an elite defense. I think it's a mistake. I see what you're doing. You're making a mistake. Oh, man. Maryland, yeah. Brady, Burkhead, Kissick, Hilton, Funchess, Watkins, Kamara, Ingram, Laney, Walker, Kamara, Carolina, Maryland, Monroe. We didn't start the DraftKings. We just made the millie because our lineup's illy. We didn't start the DraftKings. We just picked our lineup because our time is up. That doesn't rhyme because it's almost time up. And it's time to red zone, and it's time for week 12. We have big playoff push matchups. We have a lot of stuff to talk about next week when we come back, but I don't care because I'm never coming back because I'm winning $1 million, and I'm putting, oh, Dubs, you didn't enter? It's full, baby. You didn't enter? 60,000 spots. It's full. That's why I entered at 11 o'clock. I said it twice. I said, you got to enter. It's filling up. And then while I was making the lineup, I said, there's only 5 spots left. I said, there's only 5 spots left in the Millie Maker. Now there's no spots left in the Millie Maker. They sold all 60,606 spots. I just want to do some quick math. Presser, we are quoting a movie you haven't seen. I would love for you to see this movie. The shirt, You're in a Dream Right Now. That's badass. So, Wetham, it was clear. It was clear, Burns. Get the fuck out of here. Rob, you can get the mini millionaire special, the $750 to win $200K. We also entered that. 60,660 times 75. Yeah, they made $3 million on the contest. They're making so much money. It's absolutely absurd. Presser, we are actually quoting a student film that we made that I had a hand in writing for a film competition. We had to go from genre to handing in a DVD in a week, and we did the all-time greatest parody movie, Andy's Story, Toy Story 3.5. It's on one of my YouTube channels. It's immensely quotable and highly recognizable, and it won. It's an award-winning film. Mind Blown Productions won the Hourglass. Steven Spielberg, best go back to class. We don't even go. We just get that dough. My speech is on 70. My flow is so heavenly. I'm definitely the reason for the birds and bees. Got these ladies saying, check down, please. Better watch your back. Shack coming for the rat pack. Mind blown. Ain't no girl who wouldn't tap that. Ooh, man, that was a jam. That was a jam, man. Shout out Matthew Stafford. Always, baby. Get that ankle work. Get that knee worked. We need you for the stretch run. My name Big Daddy Hate. And I don't ever make the ladies wait to put some of this on my plate. They all just... Let's go, baby. It's going to be a great day, and we're going to end it with a bucket of money. I hope I see a lot of you soon. Christian, your team looks really good for the playoffs. I might want to change. I might want to get Lions defense out of there and replace your kicker maybe with someone like Jake Elliott or a better offense just because of Prater's getting a little slow. But Cousins, Mariota, you can play the matchups. You need you're stacked, dude. You're stacked. You're looking really good. Here we go, baby. Text me, tweet me, how you want to reach me. I'm out here. I'm on the internet. At the Rick Rosen name Checkdown. This is Heavy.com's fantasy football program, the Checkdown, year 1. It's your boy making millies, Ricky Rosen. Check my lineup, the guy 22. I'll be the name at the top of the standings. Let's get it, Cam Newton. Play my theme song. I'm so ready for it, boys. You do the research, we put the work in every single week. And then an opportunity presents itself. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. We all know that. What's that about? Preparation, opportunity. That's what we have. It's just luck now. We did the homework. We did the research. Now you just roll out the ball and play, baby. It's just luck. It's just luck. It's the way it is. Good luck today, everybody. Have a great time. Precision beats power. Timing beats speed. Rooting for points in the 1 o'clocks. Show me something, Cam. Play that outro. Bah, bah. It's 1 p.m., boys. I hope you enjoy your games. Let me know how you're feeling. See me on the standings. Mama, we grinding, we shining, baby. I'll see you guys for the playoffs next week. Be safe.